Well, folks, we're back to the Corina's Christian Arena for our Marvel Rivals Tournament. Round number one games away. This is going to be Bully back again with my boy Flamboyant, Dr. CS. And yes, we are back again. Third time is the charm. Yes, we are trying to get things set up. And sorry for the technical difficulties, folks. We are facing some issues just right around the corner and trying to fix everything the best in the best possible way.
Yeah, we're doing our best. We're doing our hardest. So be
Yeah.
nice to us, please. Please. It hurts my feelings when you're mean to us. Please.
Yeah, we have already taken a look at the all of the teams, all of the lineups coming into the play. We'll be jumping down to the game anytime now, but before that, how about we also take a look on the map picks, or maybe what kind of like the map bans we have seen for this particular team, because it's going to be the side of Rose Syndicate facing up as Guardians, and yeah, it was a pretty cool and pretty decent composition coming off from both sides. And it was one of the players from the side of His Guardians picking up Adam Warlock, and we did saw Black Widow and then Captain America. It was like a decent and very interesting composition, if you ask me very honestly. But from the side of Rose Syndicate, it was pretty simple, pretty basic, and very classic, to be honest. Two healers, two tanks, and two duelists. So it's going to be really interesting to see how exactly entire match is going to go around. Of course, this match is going to be a BO3, folks. Yes, we will play one set of domination, one set of the payload push, and another domination map for the third map, I suppose. But yeah, let's take a look at the map pool for now.
When we can. But while we're at least allowing some of the production guys back of house to try and sort out the map stuff, let's talk about what we did see in the map composition. For those of us who weren't here, we did see X as Guardians going with a very brawly, in-your-face type character selection, and I think that's really interesting to sort of see as their playstyle. They want to hit that quick, aggressive, sort of land that first punch and be able to build off that momentum quite early on. That's going to be something very interesting to play with. As Rose Syndicates, as we mentioned before, they played a very sort of stock standard character selection. They wanted to take those range fights. They wanted to be able to play off each other's range and being able to keep their distance to try and land a lot of those hard blows later in towards these maps. At the moment, this matchup is just a clash of playstyles. We've already seen that in character selection. I don't imagine that map selections are going to be all too different. But Bullet, like this is the type of stuff that you live for if you're an esports fan. If you're a diehard of Marvel Rivals or something like an Overwatch or something like that, this is the type of stuff that you really do love to see.
Yeah, definitely. When it comes down to playing it in a competitive fashion, playing it like, quick matches, ranks are pretty the usual action that you see. When you're stepping up for the competitive action, it's all about the play style, it's all about the mindset. When I talk about a game like Marvel Rivals, yes, you have the option to change your hero during any time, any moment inside the game. So it's not always the case that we're gonna see Adam Warlock fixed up for the entire match. Yes, you have the option to change it any time around. So it gives you that flexibility. It gives that a lot of the experimentational option that you want to play around according to just counter strat your entire opponent. It also comes down to the overall flexibility that if you're playing like for giving an example, if you're playing like character like Loki combined with Jeff the Land Shark, you don't usually see that. I have seen the previous Marvel Rivals Championship that one of the team was trying to just play around with Loki, Luna, Slow, and we saw 3-star just being a lot in the season 1.5 or after the season 1 patch came in. After that, a few of the healers were nerfed in. But it all comes down to the player's decision, players' individual performances, how duelists are gonna break the tanks, how exactly you wanna counter those vanguards coming onto the play. Because after the season 2 changes, some of the tanks, some of the vanguards have been heavily buffed up, especially when we talk about Hull, especially when we talk about Captain America. When it comes down to the duelist side of things, yes, some of the duelists have been nerfed, but again, duelists like Black Panther, duelists like especially dive-based duelists like Spider-Man, duelists like Black Panther, duelists like Wolverine. Especially when we talk about Wolverine, Wolverine always gets banned. Like he is the number one. I mean, say 80% or 85% of the time he's banned in the competitive games because of the charge up ability that he has, and he can just shred off tanks like anything. Like a couple of seconds into the game, you press your alternative primary fire. If you get onto that hold, your tanks are done and dusted. So it all comes down to I would say the overall deciding factor of how the teams are gonna approach inside the game, or how exactly you're gonna think around and actually like sort of like I would say in a very plain and simple language, it's more of like a chess game. You're playing your mind games inside in a competitive matches like this.
Yeah, and I think chess game is sort of the perfect way to describe it at the moment. We've seen both of these teams sort of quote unquote play their openings, I think is the best way to put it with the character selection that we've already seen. Now we've got to wait for that mid game. How are these teams going to start out? How are they going to play overly aggressive? Are they going to play overly passive? Are we going to see these teams working together? Are we going to see solo efforts really being the defining factor for either one of these teams? And then, that late end game, what's going to be that fatal blow? What's going to be that killing blow? Are we going to see teams making massive mistakes? I mean, you've nailed it on the head by saying it's a chess game, because essentially it's just a more violent chess, which I think everyone feels that, with Chess 2 coming out very, very shortly, we did need a little bit more violence in the game of chess. And I think Marvel Rivals is going to be, a pretty good sort of stepping stone for that in the future with chess's development as an
Yeah,
esport.
definitely. I mean, amazing metaphor reference like coming in from a man flamboyant. But coming down to the discussion of Marvel Rivals, the point what I'm trying to say is like overall, in terms of the mind games, yes, it comes out that how specific characters break around another specific characters. For example, we did saw Captain America. Now, Captain America is a dive-based tank. That kind of like a dive-based tank can be just traded off with a duelist like Hela, can be like traded off with duelists like Hawkeye, even for Black Widow per se. But finally, folks, we'll be jumping straight into the game. Our first map is going to be Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, one of my least favorite maps, to be very frankly speaking. Don't get me wrong. But for now, let's take a look at the what kind of heroes now inside in the game actually want to see, because the lineup that we saw was not exactly fixed one. Like I said, these teams have the full flexibility in the world when it comes down to a game of Marvel that they can change their heroes anytime and any point inside the game. For now, I also want to see the bans. For now, it's going to be the hero selection. They will be discussing the entire thing. But yeah,
It's easier being a superhero when you have the
Yeah, I
fame
mean,
part
hopping
figured
into it,
out.
we don't necessarily see anything too out of the ordinary. We're seeing, pretty stock standard stuff at the moment. And,
30 seconds before you attack.
I feel like early on this is looking as if it is going to be sort of a tighter matchup than I think we do expect. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah.
not really sure. If we thought one way or the other on a team that was going to be overly dominant, but I feel like with the compositions that we're seeing early on, this is going to be a bit of a tighter matchup, especially early on, and it's really going to have that opening fight define sort of how everything does go in this game.
Coming in from the side of Asgardian, we do see Square Girl in play. We do see actually two duelists, two strategists in the mix, and of course two tanks. And two of the two most powerful tanks in the game actually right now. Magneto teaming up with the Thing, and on the other hand, you have Magneto up against Groot. I mean, this is going to be really, really complicated and really fun and interesting to watch. We do see the side of the Thing charging up against the side of Magneto to just buff up the entire shields coming onto the play. And yes, we do see the primary ultimate fire just going crazy. Two double kills straight up coming in from the side of Cuties, and that will be a quad, and Square Girl will just wipe out the entire team of Rose Syndicate just like that. And that's the power of Square Girl's primary fire right there, folks. When you have so much of those nuts going around to just give you so much damage, like just sort of like grenades firing you from all angles, and then you have duelists like what do you call is the Winter Soldier, and of course the Cloak and Dagger assisting you with the heals. You have a composition like that which can actually suppress a lineup against Luna, Invisible Woman, and of course the Psylocke, and that was a supreme play. Psylocke is definitely going in for the flank to just target and put out the value coming in from the side of Skurga and the Punisher, and actually Skurga both goes down with an assisted play coming in from the side of the Thing and the Invisible Woman. But for now, it's going to be side of his Guardians trying to take back the control. The ultimate is already charged up from the side of Mustachu, who's going to be the Vanguard coming off from the side of Rose to indicate maybe a ultimate play is much needed at this point of time to especially get you that control on the first point. And there you go. The strategist Invisible Woman's ultimate comes onto the play, and the counter ult also comes down to the play from the other Rose Syndicate. So it's going to be fun to watch both of the strategists, Invisible Woman, applying their ultimates to counter each other out at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, an explosive start for Asgardians here at the moment. I mean, they've shown dominance quite early on. We do see a little bit of a counter from Rose Syndicate at the moment, but the Asgardians, they're holding on, quite strongly here at the moment. They don't necessarily look to be challenged. Of course, 1-for-1 trades so far to at least be standing off, but you know, at the moment, they've got like an absolute plethora of map control to be able to try and work around. It looks as if they're going to be heading in for another team fight here, but look.
Definitely, as Guardians now they will completely get wiped off. We did saw the actually we saw two of the ultimates coming onto the play from the side of as Guardians take back that control. But for now, it's going to be the first Magneto get wiped off. This is the first time actually that the entire Magneto has been wiped off from the map, and another ultimate comes onto the play. Oh my God, ultimates after ultimate. That is the beauty of Marvel Rivals right there, folks. There's like two kind of ultimates play that you do inside of this game, Flamboy. One is that the ultimate that you want to take in the control, just take that entire control, wipe out the entire team, and just take the control of the entire scenario and positional play, and just make space for your team, which is like the Vanguard Duelist and Strategist ultimate, which is gonna do the play and pick for you. And the second type of ultimate which you do inside this game is like just countering each other's support ult, and that is exactly what's happening in this particular matchup. They are just trying to counter each other's ult at the right damn time. For now, the Winter Soldier will definitely go down with the primary, with the secondary fire coming off from the side of Magneto, and a powerful one comes off from the side of Rose Syndicate. I think it's just not stopping, just farming his ultimate as soon as possible. But Cloak and Dagger ult comes up, which is going to provide so much value and support for the side of Asgardians to take the control back in their hand. And the thing is going crazy. We definitely see the Moon Knight switch coming off from the side of Asgardians, but it's not needed at this point of time because it's going to be just two players. Rose Syndicate, like no Psylocke, then the Luna Snow, which can't really do much when you have Doctor Strange, of course Square Girl in the opponent. You're just both squeezy 350 HP and 250 HP heroes that are trying to survive, and I feel like there's going to be an not easy one, but a pretty comfortable victory on the first round and on the first map for the side of Asgardians.
Yeah, I mean, we've finally seen that point control sort of leveled up to about that 90 to 90 percentage for each team, and this is really going to be Rose Syndicate's sort of last opportunity to make that final ditch effort to potentially steal this this first one back. And with a lot of the combat that's going on here at the moment, you were mentioning the fact that we're seeing trades needing to come out to try and counter each other's supports, and the Asgardians have just been able to find those perfect timings time and time and time again, and it's really sort of lending them into complete domination here to at least start off. And we spoke about the early brawl style and how that was going to play a major impact, and you can see the impact that it has made overall, as we will see the Asgardians being able to take the point as, they get off to a great start, and it really did stem from that early fight and being able to win that early fight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it did showed up in the first brawl itself when both of the teams just went out at the face of their, when the entire respawn structure just falls off on the starting point. I'm not able to recall what exactly that specific point is called, but just on the face of the response when you have that huge space where both teams can just brawl for the first time. That's the way the majority of the action went in, and said a lot about as Guardians as a unit, as a team. They know for a fact that yes, if we are able to break down their Psylocke, they are able to break down their strategists, they are nowhere getting no heals and support from a hero like this, because Punisher is a huge character which can provide you huge value in terms of like a strong character. Sorry, a strong character which can provide you huge value as a duelist. Same goes in for the Psylocke. We have seen a little bit of the nerfs coming in to all of the duelists per se, I would say, especially in terms of the movement and some of the damage that they deal now, especially like with the Winter Soldier ultimate has been nerfed as far as I remember in the season 2 patch. But still, they are a pretty valuable and pretty strong, I would say, of a duelist. Another brawl comes up, and now we're in the round number 2, folks. The first round was definitely one of from the side of Asgardians, as you can see the score point in. At this point of time, I do see that they need to, just get rid of Squirgle at this point of time. That's the target, kind of like a strategy that they need to play. They're just gonna target all the heroes from the side of Asgardians, which are providing so much value for their team, especially, the, I would say the Square Girl. That's doing so much damage to all of the tanks coming up. She's just farming her ultimates left, right, and center. This is probably the fourth or third ult that we have seen from this Square Girl. A double kill comes up from the side of QT, and they are just, oh my god, at this point of time, I feel a little bad for the side of Rose Syndicate. Like, they are just running off them back to their spawn point. So, I mean, I don't know what to say at this point of time. They're just being the way superior team at this point of time, Flamboy. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, look, it has been a momentum-based game so far to at least start off with, and the Asgardians, they just have all of the momentum at the moment. They're playing that quick, brawly style of that team fighting, and it's working a treat for them at the moment. I don't necessarily think the composition that we did see Rose Syndicate come in with was able to sort of fend that off early on. I did think it was very much more suited towards that late round, and as we did see character swaps coming in, it just sort of reinforced that idea. And for Rose Syndicate at the moment, they haven't necessarily been able to get enough time to, have that late round push and have those late round sort of spots of aggression, which their sort of character selections would have tended to. But I mean, as we do start to see, a little bit more of a team brawl coming in here, Bullet. This one, in my mind, decides this first map.
I mean, definitely, I feel like the kind of control, it's already beyond 81%. It's going to be soon to be 90%. I feel like a good ult, though, I'm just going to stop myself from that conversation. But a good ult coming in from the side of Ella, which can decide a lot of the fate for this particular round when it comes down from the side of Rose Syndicate. Possible, yeah, that's another ult coming up from the side of Invisible Woman. So, yeah, that's going to provide so much value and control back to the side of Rose Syndicate. A good ult, a good timing, a good control coming off from the side of Ella, and boy, look at that. They have finally got the control, but it's already 93% for the side of Asgardians in terms of the domination round. So they gotta, just Vanguards need to, go ahead, take that control. Strategists, need to play that role, be in the back and provide that, healing to everybody at the same time. But there you go, the Clover Tank comes into the play. Magneto goes down. It's going to be the finisher off from the side of Hela, and yes, and this is what I was talking about. Back-to-back, Asgardians are able to just take down to everybody and, at each other's pick. They're able to just protect the healers at the right damn time. They're able to just pop off. Even when they don't have those ults, they're able to just farm off the ults when it's necessary. But, kudos to the side of Rose Syndicate. At this point of time, they are just able to hold off the entire team of Rose Syndicate just back to the same lobby of the staircase where the spawn point comes out. So it's good to see that slowly and steadily they're trying to regain back the control of this map to their side. But I hope their strategies don't die. At this point in time, if their strategies die, they're done and dusted.
Yeah, you have to agree with that. I mean, overall, Rose Syndicate have done a great job being able to retake this point, being able to hold it for, such a significant amount of time right now. Asgardians, I mean, for the way that we're seeing Rose Syndicate holding down this point, they've got realistically one sort of opportunity to try and get themselves even a tiny bit of
oh boy,
sort of fight back here late.
Oh boy. I'm sorry to cut you out, my man, but that was a straight up wipe. A counter attack. I mean, a counter strat coming off to just counter that ult coming off from the side of Cloak and Dagger. A huge timing and control again shown from the side of Rose Syndicate. And gotta give a prop to the side of the Winter Soldier. Oh, he drags Magneto like that. He's gonna push him back to his team. And a great control. At this point of time, just want to cast a curse it. And there you go. And that will be a round victory. Amazing comeback getting played from the side of Rose Syndicate. I'm really sorry, Flamboy. Please go ahead.
No, you're good, man. You're good. If you see a player, go make it. It looks as if we're going to get our final point to potentially be captured here for our first map. And for the Asgardians, what was a very dominant start looked to potentially be whittled away slowly but surely by Rose Syndicate there. And, being able to retake that point with sort of that last-ditch effort to try and get something, to just continue fighting, and then being able to hold it. We saw so much work done by Peace Hanna right there. He's done a lot of the heavy lifting so far in that last sort of point.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, he did a lot of the heavy lifting there. He was influential. He was instrumental for this Rose Syndicate side. And, I feel like we spoke about the impacts of team play versus individual effort. Individual effort clearly has won out for Rose Syndicate there. The question is, are they going to be able to start to put the pieces of the puzzle together to have that team play become more of a influential element compared to the individual stats?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the way how Rose Syndicate was able to just stop off the entire team of Asgardians and countering ults after another. I mean, that's the piece of the puzzle that you need to just find in a competitive Marvel Rival games like that. And definitely the thing is definitely going to be there. Oh, no. Is that ult getting waste? No. It's going to be Helen Lisa and, of course, an ult coming out from the side of Ella, who's going to try his level best to just take out the healers in play. But at this point of time, the healers are not going to go back off. But there you go. That ult now comes up from the side of Luna Snow as well, from the side of Rose Syndicate to keep up the entire team alive. Going to provide that a lot of support to the thing as well. But what was that ultimate? Come on, Magneto. You don't want to waste your ult like that. But he was trying to do something, though. but eventually that ult provided no value. So I have to call it a waste. Though they're trying to take out the strategist first, and that's the right kind of play that you need to do when, especially you're not able to break even to the vanguard play. Now it comes to be ult play from the side of Senpai, who knows how to keep his entire team alive and ready. They know for a fact that, hey, you want that control, go away, take it. I know how to keep my team alive and how to, just restructure ourselves and, then take the entire fight to the face of the opponent. So it's good to see a play like that coming off from the side of Rose Syndicate.
Yeah, we just saw the impact of, the diving type characters right there. We did see Smurfing for Fun on that Ex-Guardian side going down, sort of wanting to be a little bit more focused on that dive style play that we did see from memory. I think it was Gamster. I could be mistaken, but I think for this Rose Syndicate side, they've found their footing in this game so far. They've found
Definitely.
that the brawl style is working a lot more in their favor compared to that range fight we were seeing them trying to play early on. And for
Yeah.
the ex as Guardians, my apologies, they haven't necessarily found anything to counter.
Ooh, oh, no, 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 no. Boy, I'm repeating this way often, but I have to do as a caster on the desk. They have to take out Squirrel Girl. She is a menace, trust me. She is a menace at this point of time. Especially when you have two vanguards who can provide so much cover to their duelist, and then you have the layer of the strategists who are just planning to play on the back. They have to take. I mean, for the side of Rose Syndicate now, as they have been wiped out, and they have to, just kind of like do a small little reset that they need to do pretty quick though. They have to somehow, like, this comes down to the shoulder responsibility of Winter Soldier, especially because again you are a duelist and you have to take out the other duelist on the opponent team. I know they have Hela as well, but it will be better if Punisher just goes out and try to, like, kind of like a flank, or maybe just take out the side of Squirrel by surprise. But there you go, and counter Cloak and Dagger comes down to the play, but no, 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 it's going to be. Oh no, that ult is gonna provide no value, but there's gonna be a second ult coming up from the side of Hela, which might turn the tables again. The first pick comes off, Skrull goes down, trying to find the side of the Luna and the other charges, but that's gonna be a Luna ult in play. Doctor Strange ult comes in, trying to take out the side of Invisible Woman. Where did Spider-Man came off from the chart? And there you go, boy, taking the control back of the point at 99% of the round being favored for the side of S Guardians. Amazing retake control getting in play from the side of Rose.
Yet again, at the moment, it's Cuties VP Sano. Both of these guys have single-handedly kept their teams afloat here. Cuties is taking so much control, especially playing as Squirrel
Square,
Girl.
it's
Yeah,
hard.
I'm
It's hard.
turning
Trust
into
me. It's
Guru
hard. It's
slowly.
hard. Trust
I'm
me.
turning into Guru slowly. Oh my days. I'm gonna steal the moon at some point. But no, I feel like Squirrel Girl. I've done it again. Squirrel Girl has done such a good has done such a good job at being able to try and find a lot of momentum here for the XS Guardians, and it's working absolute to perfection for them at the moment. Now it's Pisano's turn. Is he able to do something? Is he able to provide that spark of magic?
I love how Doctor Strange is trying to provide that space coming up from the side of Guardian. There you go. Slowly and steadily, they're able to pick off one after another. Spider-Man cannot do things alone at this point of time, and that will be the first map, going on into the favor of Asgardian folks. So a great one indeed. I mean, how actually Rose Syndicate were able to find their footing. Uh, onto breaking up into that first, and the second round was amazing. I mean, not the first round, sorry. First round was a straight up sweep, but a great play coming off from the side of Square Gun. I mean, I don't know how to put it, no disrespect, but that was looking like they are playing a Ryan game. Trust me, Square Girl is a menace in the platinum lobbies, in the diamond lobbies. She is one of those duelists that you don't want to go against, especially when you're not playing those dive based duelists to counter her out. But a great play indeed. Coming back to the point, we're saying that in the second round, they definitely find their footing and they're able to kind of like read onto that strategies and plays coming off from the side of Asgardians. But again, I will say the same thing. By looking at the composition at the end game, you just have one support. Now, that is the kind of composition. Trust me when I say this, I'm a Loki man. You just want to avoid. Trust me, you just want to avoid that. You cannot heal in the end moment with just you cannot heal the entire team with just one strategist. Again, The good point over here, as I can see, the thing Magneto and Vanguard, these are the Vanguards that you need to just provide that kind of like a breaking barrier and sort of like in front of powerful duelists like Square Girl and whoever the second one was. Especially the main problem was the Square Girl. She was doing so much damage and providing so much value for her team. Coming to the point, yeah, that was the second one, was the Punisher from both sides. So I would say the same thing again. If certain composition are not working out for you, especially like a double duelist or a double tank, you have to experiment something else. I mean, of course, this is a custom arena. Of course, this is a tournament where you're gonna get a decent prize pool, but don't be afraid to try new things and just try to just counter your team out. I feel like at this point of time, maybe just saying, three strategists, three tanks may would have done things a little bit different. Just saying.
Yeah, I feel like what we saw there from Rose Syndicate at the very end, we were talking about that end team composition. I feel like it was just a last ditch effort to try and get anything that they could. It wasn't necessarily down to poor teaming decisions or poor, decision making at all on the Rose Syndicate side. It was more just, we're in a desperate time. We need something desperate to go our way. What can we find reliable? And it's like everyone playing their comfort character, everyone playing a character that they've excelled at personally. We're not seeing people playing characters they're not accustomed to, and we're not seeing people play characters that, they don't necessarily want to play, if that makes oh sorry, they don't necessarily need to play, if that makes sense. They're characters they want to play, and they're characters they do play quite often. Being able to find those comforts in a very, very sort of rough situation like we saw Rose Syndicate in is definitely no testament against to them as a team and as a unit. And I don't really particularly feel that we should look too far into that. However, X's Guardians, I mean, from what I was watching, I think they made 2 or 3 character changes that entire series. Like they're set from what they had picked at the start of map 1 to the final, team comp that we saw in map 3, right? There was maybe 2 changes. And, being able to find a comfort team sort of composition like that is really important, and that's something from the X as Guardians, that is so crucial, especially as we go deeper and deeper in towards this tournament. That's going to be something that really will play a factor against, I guess, teams that have very, very similar sort of play styles to them.
Yeah, definitely. For the side of as Guardians, they were like pretty set their foot in their right spot. They were able to just kind of like find those strategists and kill off their healers at the time that they wanted to. For like especially for the side of Rose Syndicate, there's another thing that they need to play around. These all of the duelists and Vanguard need to pocket their healers. Provide that shield, provide that support, and just not let your healers die. Healers are the backbone when it comes down to any Marvel Rival, even if you're playing a quick game, even if you're playing those rank, even if you're playing those competitive games, right? Like just like in today's tournament. But for now, folks, our second map is ready to go, and we'll be jumping straight into the second map, which is going to be the Hall of Dajalia. Actually, one of my favorite maps, and it's going to be a convergence game. So actually, the Convoy is going to be the third one. I was hoping to see Convoy a little early. It's always fun to see Convoy a little early, but anyways, we'll be switching up to convergence in the second map.
What should we be expecting here, Bullet? Like, what type of team comp should we be looking at? What type of play
Yeah.
style should we really be looking at?
Again, I will stick. I mean, for don't get me wrong, but I have seen this, kind of like a sort of the value. Mantis is a great like starting off from the side of strategist as a healer per se in a classic hero shooter language. You need two of those healers. Like you need a primary healer like Cloak and Dagger who can just provide that sort of like so-called unlimited healing to the entire team. She's a no-brainer healer when it comes down to the entire play. You just press your left mouse button and you play in the back, you are good to go. Of course, sometimes around you need to go invisible and do those cloaky stuff, but you are good to go. But then you need a secondary healer as well to kind of that provide that support. That if Cloak and Dagger is providing that, sort of like a counter support through Vanguard or maybe Duelist per se, the other secondary healer needs to provide that, the kind of like a more of a damage output value of what the primary healer is trying to do. And the same goes on that she can pocket to the vice versa roles. She can pocket to any of the duelists who's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for your team, like going in, flanking those strategists in the opponent team, flanking those squishies in the opponent team, and taking out them one by one. So I feel like for the side of as Guardians, they are pretty good. They don't need any changes. But the one change that I will appreciate a lot that came in pretty late from the side of Rose Syndicate was the Spider-Man. You need a Spider-Man or a Black Panther to take that Square Girl out. If not, if you do not take that Square Girl out, trust me, on a map like Hall of the Jalia and in a mode like Convergence, he's gonna be a pain in the neck for you.
Oh yeah. In terms of tanks, sort of what are we looking at in terms of team comp?
Sorry.
In terms of tanks, what are we sort of looking at? Are we looking
In
at
terms
dive
of
tanks? Are we looking at more
in
protective
terms of
tanks?
the tanks, I feel like if we did saw like in the season 2 patch, we did saw a huge change coming up with the Hulk and the team up of Namor, and that team up is insane. That team up can actually melt tanks far off and the squishies from far off location. So if somebody is actually going in Namor, which I did saw from the side of Rose Syndicate for a minute in the first map, don't be afraid to experiment Hulk. Hulk is a pretty good character. But hey, we do see Rose Syndicate going in from one of my favorite team-ups, Venom and Spider-Man. I would love to see. Come on, take that Penny Parker. Trust me, that Penny Parker will do wonders for you. But anyways, they're gonna go for the Doctor Strange. We do see Invisible Woman. We do see the Star Lord just going up. That ultimate is one of the most strongest ultimate if you're not able to counter that out though. But yeah, there you go. That's going to be the side of Convergence. We're going to just see one of the rounds where both of the teams have a similar minute and they have to just push the payload at the maximum extent to just on the next round to stop your opponent team at. But I feel like when we especially talk about the side of Rose Syndicate, this is a decent comp, not a I would say a 5-star rated comp, but a 4.5-star rated composition in my opinion. You have a Spider-Man to take out that Punisher, you take out to just those strategies, and especially Cutie, who's playing that Squirrel. They need to focus on that, and, so a tank like Venom who can actually go and flank the same way on how Spider-Man can play around. And I feel like in terms of the composition, in terms of the overall hero pick strategy, they're pretty good. They just need to just play around it pretty well. But hey, that's going to be Doctor Strange who's going to use this portal to flank the entire team of Rose Syndicate, and that's going to come up pretty shortly. There you go.
Hell yeah. That's, pretty concise. I like that. That's good, I feel like, we've got a good base of everything, and more importantly is that we finally get ourselves into some of the action. Team Brawls getting themselves in quite early
Oh
on here.
no.
What are we seeing early?
There you go. Both of the duelists go down pretty early from the side of Rose Syndicate. This is what I was talking about. And we can actually see some of the chat also going in for the same. And trust me, chat, you are completely right about it. They need to sort of like pocket support and just play around those pocketing, the side of their healers. And if they are not able to, they're gonna give away that control of the point and the control of the convergence just like that. And they want it like a couple of what 4 minutes of per game. Now we have the addition of 30 seconds. In just a matter of 16 to 20 seconds, they're able to wipe off the entire team. Because the backbone of the team, who is the strategist, were able to just kill off from the Punisher and Wanda. But there we go. Spider-Man comes out to play a huge pick. Straight up a double. There comes the Star-Lord who can do wonders for you. Can just farm his ultimate from tanks like the Thing and, of course, the Doctor Strange in the opponent. So a good one, though. Two of the main strategists and duelists goes down. Back to regaining the control. Twist up in the tail in the air. But Doctor Strange will actually take on the side of Cloak and Dagger. A good way of taking by the control coming off from the side of Syndicate, though. Venom onto the chart, using his tentacle to just kind of like trouble around those healers. But it will be better if we see one of the ults getting pop up. And there you go. Luna Snow will pop up their ult, and they definitely want to take the control back as soon as possible. But back-to-back ults will get popped off from both sides. And there you go. One of the strongest ults from the side of Star-Lord. They have to find it. He has to find it, probably get some of the more value out of it. But no, not even one. And there you go. Judge, Jury, and Deduction, the ultimate from the side of Punisher. And he's getting healed back, left, right, and center. He will get assisted with the Wanda to take out the side of Star-Lord, maybe providing the same value to just kick off the entire team to the back front and provide that spacing to his team of Asgardians to push this payload to the first checkpoint. Another ultimate comes off from the side of Invisible Woman, and the Thing will go off. He knows for a fact that yes, he doesn't have the same amount of heals that he needs to have to just push out the entire team. So a great composition in play from both sides, but at this point of time, yes, Asgardians know and they just know the basic rules of the game at this point in time. Trust me, they know the basic rules of the game and they are able to play on that the same point.
I think that we haven't seen the Asgardians sort of. We have okay, not the Asgardians as a whole. I
Rose
mean, we
Syndicate.
haven't necessarily seen cuties be, that pest that we saw them be in that first map. We didn't necessarily see a lot of the big. We haven't seen a lot of the big impact early on in this series. Early on in the second map from cuties, and it looks as if things could change as we are seeing Squirrel Girl finding a whole lot of damage early on as she's just absolutely leading the charge here. And then it's the same thing for Rose Syndicate. We haven't seen P Sano finding a lot of damage as that main duelist, as that lead duelist there. And, we're seeing XS Guardians taking a whole lot of space because of that, because they've just got such a good support team around each other, as we will actually see Cuties going down to P Sano there. This could be quite interesting now, Bullet.
It's going to be quite interesting on how actually Spider-Man and Psylocke are able to do a lot of damage and able to provide that value picks for their team. And as a dual as a guy or girl who's actually playing in as Spider-Man and playing that duelist role per se, I would say they are able to perform their roles pretty well. There you go, another shortcut comes onto the chart, and this will be back-to-back ultimates. Trust me, they have the right time to perform those ultimates, and they have actually three ultimates. There you go. The counter ultimate comes up from the side of Square Girl, no counter, but that's a leading ult. And the counter actually now comes up from the side of the Rose Syndicate with that Invisible Woman and that Wanda ult will provide no value, and I'm not sure why QT pop off that ult, but even though that spacing is going to provide a lot of value to them and they need this kind of a spacing to actually get onto the first point. And kudos to Rose Syndicate, gotta appreciate them on how they're able to hold off the side of his Guardians of not letting them to push even to the first point of the entire map. But now, as I say, caster curse is real. As I was speaking of, the whole team will back off, and now they will be able to push off to the first objective.
Yeah, I mean, you got to stop caster cursing everyone, Bullet's getting a bit out of hand here, young mate. But, I think overall, XS Guardians have done a really good job keeping relentless pressure on. They're taking all of the momentum that they can. We're not necessarily seeing Rose Syndicate being able to cope with such a high sort of level of this pressure, and they're just not being able to deal with it, unfortunately. And for everything that we are seeing Rose Syndicate try to do, they're trying to play as a team. They're trying to play, not sort of using those individuals as heavily and rely on them as heavily. We're just seeing them getting overrun, unfortunately, here, at least to start off this second map. Here's hoping that things will potentially change, as we do actually see now that Palo getting pushed back even just a tiny bit now.
Yeah, good way. I mean, how Rose Syndicate were not able to just protect that convergence point on the first objective was kind of like sad. But on how they're able to just stop off the entire push from the side of Asgardians is completely commendable. I have to appreciate it more. But the ultimate comes into the play from the side of Cloak and Dagger to provide that spacing and provide the opportunity for the side of Rose Syndicate to take the control back. And there you go, the counter ult. And I love this. Rose Syndicate, now you're in that element. Trust me. Now they are in that element and they know how to counter every other support ult. I know definitely they knew it from the first game itself, but they are providing that kind of like the superior value now in the second map. The Psylocke ult comes in, they'll get the bigger one though, the bigger fish in the sea. The Hulk and the Strange both goes down, trying to find that Wanda itself in the very low HP. She finds out that ultimate and she will get killed off at the right time. Just one objective point getting pushed, though, even not on the objective point, just one of the pointer will go down to the distance of 103.31 meters, and a good defense, I would say, from the side of Rose Syndicate. And this is the kind of the matchup I would say that they needed. This is the, I would say, overall the confidence that they needed, that they can actually suppress this kind of a team, which they were not able to do in the first map of Wakanda.
Yeah, I feel like, there's just been like they've finally gotten used to it. You know what I mean? It's like getting into an ice bath for the first time. You finally get into it. You feel real cold. You feel like you want to hop out, but then you sort of acclimatize to it. I feel like that's exactly what we're seeing out of Rose Syndicate here at the moment. And X's Guardians, at what point do they switch up the playbook? At what point do they potentially look to try and, be a little bit cheeky with potentially something that we don't necessarily expect from them, and it looks as if that is what we might be getting with the new team composition coming out. Cuties has foregone Squirrel Girl, so X's Guardians might be sort of changing up here. Maybe changing up here at the moment. Yeah, I'd be interested to see.
Yeah, for now, as they have to defend the entire play, so they definitely need those heavy kind of like resisting tanks, like especially like a Groot and the Thing, and they kind of have taken at the pseudo tank flamboy. When we talk about the side of Mr. Fantastic, he is an amazing duelist who can actually provide and do a lot of that damage value to agents like Punisher and Invisible Woman. At the same time, the inflated version of him, we can actually play like that pseudo tank, which goes on to that 700 and 650 HP, who can provide a lot of value. When Venom comes off of the flank, oh boy, what a play coming off from the side of Rose Syndicate. This is the play that we all wanted to see. A straight up sweep, actually a reverse sweep, taking that metaphor, folks. A reverse sweep coming off from the side of Rose Syndicate. A flank comes in, Psylocke, Spider-Man, Venom, everybody just popping off left, right, and center. There we go, folks. That spawn point is gonna come up pretty soon, and they have ton of time actually in their hand to figure things out and how can actually they can lead on to this charge. A great play coming off from the side of Rose Syndicate. A great one indeed.
Yeah, finally looks as if they've found their fitting. They're not slipping anymore. They're not slipping down the mountain. They're starting to climb Everest, if that does make sense. Of course, work is still not done yet, as we could potentially even be seeing a little bit of a cheeky Venom from the sky, potentially. But it does look as if Peter Parker is aware of it, as we
Oh,
do see Venom
lovely.
ganking down on towards the Guardians, as we'll at least take one, but won't be able to find all too much off the back of it. Team fight still continuing here. Bullets as Rose Syndicate finally looking to settle.
Looking to settle? I mean, they just wiped off their opponent team in what? Less than 1 minute? Boy!
As in settle for the
Did
entire series, not necessarily that single round. The whole series. What I'm talking about, Bullet. They're finally
yeah,
settled in. You know what I mean?
they
They've evened
finally
up.
said definitely. I mean,
Even up a
they
lot.
have actually one more map, right? The map one went out the favor of Guardians, and now the second map went out for the side of Rose Syndicate. So
Yeah,
they have time.
they do have time, and map 3 is where we call it the lair of dreams and the layer of dreams for a reason. It's where we can see heartbreak after X's Guardians amazing start. Do they continue to sort of run the same sort of team they've been running so far? We did see Cuties make a change, swapping from Squirrel Girl, who was working quite well for them. It's a bit of a shock, to be completely honest with you, that change was made. But for Rose Syndicate, that is a great confidence booster. That's the type of thing that's going to carry you momentum into map number 3, and that's going to be the type of thing that does take out a best of 3 series.
Yeah, thanks to the production team. We can take a look at the scoreboard. This is what I was talking about. Spider-Man and the combination of Venom always works out when the entire team is looking like, just putting out that flank surprise in a simple language, I can say. Definitely they're able to, provide that value that you need to take off their strategists at the same time. Even though it was not completely that they're able to pick off the strategists at the first place, they were able to pick off the first duelist, and then the both strategists were getting targeted from the side of Venom and Spider-Man, and that's the play that they wanted to do. An amazing one. The first strategist goes down. Actually, the first duelist goes down. Strategists have no support whatsoever. Vanguards are busy trying to take out the other opponent's team Vanguard, and the both of strategists go down, slowly and steadily fall off like a deck of cards. So that was an amazing read from the side of Rose Syndicate, that there's a flaw inside of the strategies coming in from the side of S Guardians, that if they're not able to pocket around their healer in a mode like this, yes, we can capitalize on that mistake. And that was a great one coming up from Spider-Man and Psylocke. That is that change, that is that confidence boost that they needed from Duelist.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the confidence boost. We've spoken about momentum. We've spoken about, how team comp is sort of pitting the two play styles against each other so far, and it does look as if, you know, there is actually a little bit of, push and pull between these two teams at the moment.
Definitely.
Now, my question is, with Payload coming in, are we going to see that long range sort of team comp that we were seeing earlier come back and make a bit of a statement? Are we going to potentially see a little bit more of a brawl from both of these teams? What are we necessarily going to be looking at going in towards our third and final map of this series?
Oh, it's going to be the side of Yggdrasil, one of my favorite maps again when it comes down to the Convoy move. To answer that question, to answer that question, Flamboy, when it comes down
Four.
to the map of Convoy, I'm sorry, to the map of Convoy, uh, you need, especially in a mode like this, when you're trying to push your payload as soon as possible, you kind of need the bigger and the better tanks. You need Doctor Strange. You need a better tank. When I say you need Groot, you need the thing is kind of like a very sort of aggressive role of tank that you need to play. But the majority of the heavy lifting needs to be done from the vanguards in a mode like this. Trust me. Of course, duelists needs to be there to do the damage, and of course, healers are there to play their role. But it's a very, I would say, a heavy lifting kind of like a mode that needs to be there from the side of the vanguards. If vanguards are able to provide that space, if vanguards are able to provide that sort of that, like, being in that captain in charge, that hey, come ahead, I'm gonna just go ahead, flank this right, left, center, take out this opponent tank, and then I'll just I'll just protect you, be your little angel guardian. And that is that kind of like a mindset, that is the kind of like the overall play style you need to have on a map like Yggdrasil Pass, and especially on a mode like Convoy. But again, both of the teams are able to kind of like suppress each other in one of their picks, or I can say one of their matches, or maybe just like 2-1, 2-1 in both sides. So I'm not really sure what exactly going to happen on the third map. This can go either way, honestly. Now that as Guardians know for a fact that Rose Syndicate are able to play dive-based heroes like crazy, they will definitely go for Namor. They will definitely go for the Penny Parker. They will definitely go for more of those stun base and crowd control based heroes. But again, that can be countered from the side of Rose Syndicate because they are able to play their tanks well. So this can go either way if you ask me honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it is sort of a dead 50-50 at the moment between both of these teams. We've sort of seen their strengths, we've sort of seen their weaknesses.
Yeah.
And, in my mind, I've said this a lot this series, but opening fight, that is literally going to decide everything. We saw Asgardians win the opening fight on the first map. We then see Rose Syndicate winning the opening map on the second map. And, that just sets so much momentum. It sets so much tempo for these teams to be able to build off of and be able to take a lot of space because of. And, in my mind, right, this third map is going to be decided within the first minute of,
You're
the
right.
sort
You're
of game
absolutely right.
time, which,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily want to say because you don't want to ruin the fun for the fans at home. But like, you do have, there's a good opportunity where, we do see this decided quite early on. We don't necessarily have the longest map 3 to come through, but the fact that we've seen all three, oh, sorry, the first 2 maps, my apologies, go 2-1. The first time, that's something that's always good to be able to take a look at, which means that there's a good opportunity. We go ourselves to a 2-1 for this third map, and the question is who's going to take out that first fight, because whoever takes out that first fight is definitely going to take out that third and final map and continue their run here in the CCA tournament.
Yeah, I do see that Thor as Guardians. Oh boy. Thor, a dive based tank.
We have
Combined with
Squirrel on that.
Magneto. Of course, the Square Girl will be in play. Trust me, in a convoy situation like this, on a map like Yggdrasil, the thing is that there are not a lot of like a big choke point space. Uh, Projectile based damage of, I don't know, is that CC to be called? No, no, that's not called CC. Sorry, that's not called crowd control. Overall, when it comes down to the heroes like Square Girl in a map like Yggdrasil, it's going to be really problematic for all of the strategist heroes. Trust me when I say this, and we have seen that happening in the close quarter maps like on Wakanda itself. So on a map like in this Yggdrasil, where you have a lot of space in the middle section, in the middle lane, and then you have a lot of these choke points which are round. So for now, we do see the side of as Guardians to be on the on the attacking side, and it's going to be the side of Rose Syndicate to be on the defensive side. They need to make sure that they are able to at least push off to the first objective. as soon as possible, because the point is on the till the first checkpoint you don't have any of these choke points which can be capitalized from the side of the defensive team. So it goes kind of vice versa. Rose Syndicate needs to kind of like suppress the entire team of Asgardians from the first checkpoint itself. If not, if Asgardians are able to do that damage value and they're able to just flank off the entire team of Rose Syndicate, they will quickly just take back the control of the second checkpoint itself as well. Now everybody's targeting Square Girl. That's I love to see. But look at the ultimate. It's 93, 97, 98 already from the side of Square Girl. I mean, the kind of damage output that overall team and especially those two duelists are able to do in a matter of like just 1 minute and 30 seconds is very crazy if you ask me honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we automatically saw Cuties deploy that ultimate, and I don't
Oh
blame
my
him at all. A clean 1-for-1 trade coming through, and it looks as if we are just going to be seeing Rose Syndicate being able to absolutely dominate in the team fight here at the moment. We're seeing Asgardians trying to scramble their way back into the fight, but it looks as if Rose Syndicate are going to take complete control. The payload will be stopped dead in its tracks here as Rose Syndicate at the moment a dominant opening way to start off this third map. They do it with a dominant win here. And more importantly, ex-Asgardians, they have got everything sort of stopping for them. They don't necessarily have the momentum here. It will be a
Oh.
very, very tough fight back for them at the moment.
Two ults getting suppressed in the corner from the side of Rose Syndicate. Back-to-back counters, but there you go. The aggressive push comes off from the side of Senpai that they need to take the control. And look at that, to combine that complicated effort from the side of Cloak and Dagger. It will be another ultimate coming up from the side of Square Girl to provide that additional output value. Thor comes up to the charge. Venom is still alive. They try to corner out the Venom. Of course, it will be a stun, and that just for a second from the side of Square Girl. But overall, Psylocke is still alive, which can actually do a lot of damage. But it's still though that Asgardians will be able to finally take off that convoy control and the 1 minute back charge. 1 minute remaining. But Loki, you just finally have the copy ult. Ooh, finally almost getting picked off from the opponent's Psylocke, but he will eventually put up that ultimate though, which I second not throwing that right value though. But even though the eye of Agamotto comes in, Doctor Strange has the value. First KO comes off. Ooh, Rose Syndicate are able to pull off a good strategy play right here, though that Strange was able to pull up that portal just at the right nick of time, and three of the vanguards and supports are just present from the side of Rose Syndicate. But that will be an ultimate play from the side of Rose Syndicate, and a triple kill and a reverse sweep in charge from the side of Rose Syndicate. Boy, damn.
Yeah, I mean, Rose Syndicate here just looking dominant as they lose their footing even the tiniest bit, but don't allow ex-Asgardians to try and get themselves anything off the back of it. Instead, now we're just seeing Rose Syndicate putting their foot into the throat here of the ex-Asgardians. It will be, a massive team fight here that kind of will decide this final little bit here, as it looks as if time is going to slowly tick down here. The ex-Asgardians as this third map has started off with a bang, and Rose Syndicate have come out on top early on here. The question is, ex-Asgardians, do they have what it takes to sort of bring it back? Do they have what it takes to finally shift the momentum back in their direction? And, that's really going to depend onto the team play and potentially onto Cuties as well. Rolling forward that payload, it does look as if they will hit that first checkpoint here as ex-Asgardians, they continue to try and put on a little bit more pressure to Rose Syndicate than what was sort of anticipated earlier on in this third and final map.
Yeah, at this point of time, Asgardians are able to get counter sweep from the side of Rose Syndicate, and kind of goes same for the side of Rose Syndicate as well. Both of the teams are right now at the, I would say, the similar kind of like a skill caliber level. Just able to counter each other off at the same time. So overall, a really good play from both sides. Probably at this point of time, try to target and take out the side of Spider-Man, because that Spider-Man is going insane. Trust me when I say this. He is just bring out to be a pain in the neck for every other duelist and strategist from for the side of his guardian. Especially when it comes down to Loki in charge, he has his ultimate ready up and waiting. We do see the counter dead. But there you go. Of course, Squirrel Girl is such. I mean, trust me, I have played a lot of matches against top tier square girls in my own region, and trust me when I say this, she is one annoying character. I mean, in a fun way, I'm saying this, not in a way that, hey folks, that you shouldn't play this character. I mean, this is a competitive match, you'll play anything that you like. But for now, that Cloak and Dagger ult is providing so much value. Psylocke's ult completely gets cancelled, and it's gonna be a bloodbath to take the control here at the second objective point.
Yeah, I mean, Squirrel Girl coming in, making the splash when it's needed the most. And for XS Guardians, that's the type of stuff that can swing the momentum back in towards your favor. We haven't necessarily seen Rose Syndicate be able to do anything off the back of that. Instead, we're seeing, P. Sando, he's going to be hiding off in a corner, waiting for the team to try and regroup. He will be that flank, especially as the payload does go past him. And Spider-Man here is definitely going to be the crutch here if we do see P. Sando being able to find a lot of damage, potentially even getting a kill. It could be absolutely major here for Rose Syndicate. However, P. Sando is taking so much damage. We'll actually see the team being able to find one. Is there a second? That is going to be the question here as the team fights continue. And it looks as if Rose Syndicate are slowly overrunning the XS Guardians.
Yeah, for now they have the control back of the payload, back to the side of none other than the Rose Syndicate, and they're slowly and steadily trying to just stop it right at this point of time, because this is very deep into the map, and this is that one choke point where actually Rose Syndicate can just capitalize on all of the play and composition coming off from the side of the Guardians. And there you go, the Luna Snow ults comes onto the play, and that's going to provide us so much of the supports to just take out every other person alive in for the side of his guardian. So there you go. Loki is going to take out the Spider-Man, which is going to be the right counter there. Thor is doing so much damage, getting the right amount of heals at the right time present. But Psylocke's ult is going to take out one of the leading packs, and a triple for the side of Psylocke. Possibly a fourth. Come on, take it away. And yep, it's going to be a quadra for this lad over here. Trying to find Squirrel Girl as well. It's better to just back off. You have done enough damage. Don't, just overextend your entire team at this point of time. So Rose Syndicate is a very good checkpoint, choke point, sorry, to just kind of like stop the entire push from the side of his Guardians. And it's great to see them to just lead on to that positional play.
Yeah, I mean, the positional presence at the moment is definitely what is separating these two teams, especially in that choke point. Rose Syndicate being able to want to get aggressive and being able to take a lot of those fights because of the positional advantage that they are having at the moment is the major factor that is, keeping them competitive here. But it does look as if XS Guardians are slowly being able to overrun the Syndicate as, well, not everything's all rosy for them at the current moment, as it does look as if that payload is potentially getting even the tiniest bit of progression. It will help out for the XS Guardians as, yeah, I mean, it's just all team fights at the moment, and we're seeing them pretty much be 50-50s all the way through.
50-50s, but another health comes in, and a great switch, providing a lot of value. We do see the human torch in play, which we usually don't see Flamboy in a competitive matchup like this, because aerial based heroes can be taken out in a swift, especially with a good duelist. But finally, Rose Syndicate will be able to stop as Guardians on a 2-0 scoreline, but that is very deep into the map. That is almost beyond just, they were able to just reach out to that third objective point, secure that 3-0 scoreline. So a great push coming off from the side of as Guardians, but right now it's going to be the side of Rose Syndicate to be on the attacking side. And trust me when I say this, they have to take up that leading front in the first round, because the counter attack to this is like when you have a team who has already pushed down very deep into the site, uh, to almost to the third point itself on a map like Yggdrasil. You need to, as a defense team, you need to take up that advantage in the on the round timer in the first before that first objective point reaches out from the attacking team. For now, let's take a look at the stats as well now. 18,000, sorry, 18,000, actually, yeah, 18,000 damage being done from the side of QTs, who's actually stuck on Square Girl for a really, really long time. I mean, trust me when I say this, Winter Soldier is a much better and a much, I would say, stronger duelist character compared to Square Girl. But Square Girl, her grenades or according to the lore, those nuts provide so much damage and value. It just cannot be matched to anyone per se. But oh, Rose Syndicate. Okay, anyway, sorry. Yeah, Rose Syndicate will be pushing up now as their chances up though. But we do see the right kind of counters though. Penny Parker in the mix. They got Thor, they got Loki, and of course they got Square Girl. So this is going to be the right kind of competition that you need to actually have to stop off the entire flanks and stop off the entire amazing positional plays coming out from the side of Rose Syndicate. If you ask me honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, the question is at the moment, what are we going to necessarily see sort of coming through? Is there going to be a lot more of that team fighting focus? Are we going to see, XS Guardians go back to that individual effort that we've been seeing so much from Cuties as an individual? That's only really time will be able to tell. And I mean, the way that Rose Syndicate have played in a lot of these team fights has been possibly some of the better ones that we have seen for a very, very long time. And that's the type of stuff that you do really like to see. And, this can get quite interesting, especially as we are seeing early fights going the way... Actually, not going anyway. It's all 50-50s at the moment, but Cuties is finding so much damage here. And is just doing such a great job of just being a pest towards this Rose Syndicate side where it doesn't matter what happens, everything is just going to be kept tight and it's going to be kept competitive. And that's the type of stuff that you love to see if you are the XS Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, Square Girl is just absolutely going bonkers at this point of time. But for now, Rose Syndicate needs to break this even. They have to find those ults getting set up at the right point. Girl Boss Loki playing as Penny Parker is also providing a lot of value. Those specialty mines can actually let these squishies and tanks go in for that bonus damage, and they can just capitalize onto that. They gotta stop those Spider Nets, they gotta stop those overall play. But there you go, Luna still comes out to the play. At the same time, it's gonna be the Penny Parker charge of the Penny Parker ult, and it's ults after ult. They would just want to counter it and just get the entire team to get reverse sweep from their side, because this is an double ult, so I'm just gonna call it a reverse sweep. But there you go, the Hypernova will be providing so much value upon from the sky as well, and they have to take care of that human torch as well. So finally they have that kind of like the spacing that they need eventually to push down till the first objective. But there you go, the porter comes onto the play. They gotta watch out for the flank. Everybody just coming from the right spot. This can go bad. The Eye of Agamotto comes in. Two of the players are stunned. Maybe a supreme value. Doctor Strange is trying to target out the Psylocke. Psylocke know for a fact that they can actually target their supports and Penny Parker as well. Thor comes up with the right ultimate, but not going to take out anyone though. But still, it's going to be Rose Syndicate to be in the control of this entire second brawl, which came off on this map and this round.
Yeah, and I mean, having a great start coming through, it is realistically going to come down to that final choke point that we did see, XS Guardians get caught on last,
Yes, yes.
I guess, sort of map. Are we going to see that choke point still be as strong and as effective for the XS Guardians, especially with the sort of brawly style that they are playing at the moment, where everyone's sort of trying to do their best to support Cuties with a lot of the damage and a lot of the work that he's doing as a duelist. But for XS Guardians here, that choke point becomes almost mission critical for them. If they're able to continue to hold on to that point and not allow Rose Syndicate to be able to sort of best them in that area, that's going to be the really big part. So these early fights, right, you're just looking to take time off. You're not necessarily looking to potentially shut down every single push that Rose Syndicates throw at you. And that's going to always be something quite important to see, as it does look as if we may see Cuties under a fair bit of significant pressure, but it does allow Venom to potentially come in and be a little bit more of a pest, as we will see him just crash in towards the team fight, looking to protect his duelist, and he's just on an absolute rampage at the moment.
As a rampage at the moment, the Luna Stalls comes in to provide the same value, and we do see Luna Snow going down. Am I wrong or am I right? And yes, it was Luna Snow to go down, and that was an I'm not sure, was that an ult or what exactly happened. And that was a complete waste of that ult. I have to say for a fact that Psylocke needs to just go back at this moment, and Rose Syndicates needs to go for a reset and just recollect themselves, as they have a very less amount of time. 2 minutes is something that which can actually turn tables around pretty quickly. But I feel against a team like this, 2 minutes is actually not a lot of the time that you need to counter strat and play along. Both of the tanks are doing absolute best job at this point of time. But there you go, Loki comes out with a copy, and the God of Mischief will miss no chance to just provide that support to everybody. And Rose Syndicates will have to go back. They have to go back to the spawn point because of this ult. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, an effective team fight yet again to be won by the XS Guardians, and it does look as if Rose Syndicate just have to keep presence around this area. They have to try and keep as much sort of, momentum as they can to prevent XS Guardians from just being able to overrun them. And, that does mainly come from the damage that we are seeing Cuties sort of be at the hand of, that Human Torch as well is looking to try and get some damage up in the air, and it does look as if it's been quite effective as well, the support v the tank. It will be interesting. Venom goes on a complete tear here. It will be interesting, especially as Rose Syndicate do end up losing that Venom, and for XS Guardians, another team fight to be won from them.
Team fight getting water from them, but the point is, as Guardians have taken a lot of these, characters or heroes, which just sort of play around those utilities. You don't need to just go off and challenge them for a gunfight. But there you go. The portal comes in from the side of and then the Doctor Strange to provide that sort of that flank opportunity that they want to, but they're still not able to collect themselves. And Hypernova will go down in vain. The ult comes in. No ult from an invisible woman. That's a ult. Yeah, that's a ult from the side of invisible woman as well. But Square Girl will target the hell out of that character. I mean, come on. You need to take out that Square Girl before anybody. There you go. I feel like that will be done and dusted for the side of us Guardians.
Yeah, and I mean, it is becoming a little bit more of a little bit more sort of strenuous at the moment, as we will see more team fights coming through, and it finally looks as if Rose Syndicate are able to get their trades in and being able to try and find themselves a fair bit of impact here, as another big team fight in here, Bullet.
Another big team fight, but trust me when I say this, Punisher and everybody will just try their little best, but at this point in time, you can't really do anything. There's that overtime point that you need to just keep up till the third checkpoint. So any of these ultimate waves can just come off from the side of us Guardians, which will come off right now at this moment, as I say it, and everybody will go down. A huge prop to Bro Syndicate for now giving up till the last 10 and sort of sticking to that over point. But overall, as Guardians were just able to play on onto the timer. They knew for a fact that how they can actually read the entire composition and play coming up from the Cyro Syndicate, and that was completely dependent on dive based tanks, dive based duelists, and they did the right thing. Took out bring out Penny Parker, bring out Loki, bring out Thor. So that was that, my friend.
Yeah, and I mean, for the XS Guardians there, we saw them have such an impact early on, and then we've seen them sort of being able to back it up really, really strong at the very end there. But for Rose Syndicate, nothing is to be taken away from them. They've fought their way back in sort of continuously throughout that whole entire series. My apologies. And they didn't go down without a fight. And I think there's something that's pretty noticeable about that from Rose Syndicate. They definitely made the XS Guardians work for it, and for the XS Guardians, that's a great win. All of a sudden you're allowed to build the momentum off that, heading in towards sort of a deeper run through this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. As Guardians were able to kind of like show on how they can actually play pretty well in the first round, in the first brawl itself. Kudos to Rose Syndicate for picking themselves in the second map. But overall, I was kind of like hoping that Syndicate will just pull off that, last trump card from their pack in the end, which I felt that was the Spider-Man and the Venom combination coming off from their side. And that Spider-Man was doing a lot of that heavy lifting. Kudos to that Spider-Man player from the side of Rose Syndicate. But trust me, they had to just take out that Square Girl. That Square Girl was doing ton and ton of damage to everybody. So maybe the target play was something that was missing from the side of Rose Syndicate.
Yeah, and I mean, for Rose Syndicate, that's a great opportunity to go back to the drawing board and being able to work out what you need to do as a team, especially going forward. It's something that you do sort of have to take a look at, and you do have to consider. What changes are going to be made for Rose Syndicate? Are we going to be seeing more of a brawly style the next time that we do see them? Hopefully. As for the XS Guardians, it looks as if they've got their team comp sorted out. It looks as if they've got their playstyle sorted out. And, they don't necessarily have too big of a gap in between those two teams. I don't think in between you and me, Bullet, I didn't necessarily see too big of a gap in between those two teams. It just looked as if XS Guardians were getting a little bit lucky, especially with their ults and their ult counters. And for Rose Syndicate, they just sort of, you know, they sort of flipped the wrong side of the coin a number of times, and it did realistically hurt them a fair bit.
I would say overall it was more of like the decision play. And it
Yeah,
comes down to the same and pretty simple example. They had to target Square Girl. They have to like, okay, if they are like one of the heroes or one of the duelists, anybody, it can be tank, it can be strategist. We have seen I have even seen, you know, Loki, Mantis popping off as a strategist in many of these pro level gameplays. So all they need to do is 3 player deciding those and who are they gonna be? Venom, Spider-Man, and Psylocke. Hey, we're gonna take target of Invisible Woman first. Hey, we're gonna target of all of the heroes who are below 350 HP because they have the less TTK, time to kill advantage onto the clock. So overall decision play was something that they need to improve, because overall they were pretty well, because we have seen in the map number 2. But for now, folks, that was our first game. It is going in for the side of us Guardians to win up against Joe Syndicate in 2-1 scoreline. Don't go anywhere. We'll be taking a short little break and we'll be coming up with our second game for the day.
What's your decision? What do you say?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Karina's Custom Arena Marvel Rivals Tournament. My name's Joker. I'm here now with Bullet to get us into this next matchup with Super 6 versus X as Guardians. Should be a good one.
Of course, we did so as Guardians playing really supremely well in the first match itself, Joker. I mean, the way how they were able to just recompose themselves from all of the strat play coming off from their opponent, Rose Syndicate. Yes, Rose Syndicate were able to actually pull off one of the maps and actually pretty good round in the first map and the second map as well. But comparatively, every other strat, every other cards were actually played out. And at the third map, we did saw kind of like as Guardian just kind of like sweeping out the entire team of Rose Syndicate. But that's done and dusted, folks. It will be the side of Super 6 to now go against the side of X Guardians. And yes, we did have seen when we talk about the overall composition play for a fact that XS Guardians know how to actually break out and counter every other composition when it comes down to their opponent.
And that's a great stuff for him, right? If you know how to counter them out, right, you're going to set yourselves up perfectly to take more and more victories and hopefully set yourself up for a tournament victory here.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we got the confirmation, folks. Teams are ready into the play, and we will be, first of all, I'm pretty sure that we will be taking a look at the lineup coming up from both sides, and especially we might take a look at the lineup coming up from the side of Super Six because we kind of know actually who's going to be the playing six or the playing five, playing six actually from the side of Exardians. Talking about the side of Super Six, we have Kicksters playing on a duelist role, Magnetomat playing on the Vanguard, Scots playing on the strategist, Tabula going in for the same strategist role. 4-3 linear playing on the Vanguard role, and of course, last but not least, Kana Meow playing in on the duelist role.
Yeah, should be interesting to see what compositions they pull out. Right, obviously, we see that Luna right there. Luna really good. One of the probably the two best supports in the or the strategists in the game as well. And then we'll see from there where we go. And then we can take a look here at X as Guardians as well. Um, to see who they're playing against. There's Q Ball and Cuties on that duelist role. Then Girl Boss Loki. Interesting, they're not a strategist player because that's where Loki is. Then Smurfing for Fun as well in the Vanguard role. And then Naji Jaji, strategist, as My Kitty Hurts as well, going to be on that strategist role too.
Yeah, talking about for the side of QTs, Joker, you gotta be on the lookout for this guy. I mean, he is just kind of like storming, going bonkers with Square Girl. I mean, for a fact that I can definitely say that the other team, Rose Syndicate, was not able to, that play on that target strategy that, you need to take out those kind of like the duelists or the strategists who are providing so much value for their team. But QTs, if they are again, combined with the overall Vanguard throwing that, pocket support to their duelists as well, being that cover and Square Girl just throwing her nades back, center, and left and right to provide that kind of a damage coming out from her side. If it goes out for the same on this map and this matchup against Super Six as well, this this might end well pretty soon. But again, you cannot underestimate any kind of like opponent just like that. But taking on how the entire team has played in the first map, I feel like they are up for better and a next challenge coming up with a team like Super Six.
As now we're going to we'll see where we're starting off here in a few short moments. Check out the BAMs. It's going to be Bryn T'Challa. We're starting out on Domination. Interesting. I see a lot of Rivals players not really like the Domination map type, but it'll be an interesting place to start off for our series today.
Yeah, definitely. Domination is that one sector. I mean, like, that one mode, especially where you have a lot of these, divers and especially those, all of the kind of like a duelist divers or maybe tank divers who have that like a sort of like a, 5% or I would say, in my opinion, 10% sort of that advantage. You have not a lot of that space or the choke points that you get in the convoy and a convergence map. But especially in a domination, which you get is definitely to rely on a lot of that, coordination play from your teammates that hey, I'm popping off this ult, okay, we got to counter this support ult, now we got to counter that support ult. So there's a lot of that coordination that seems to be required in a mode like domination. And of course you get that chance to just carry forward your ult from the first round to the second round as well. But the best part about domination is that you actually get to know your opponents pretty well, especially when domination is in the first map. You can actually know the ins and outs, strong point and weak points of your opponent team, or of your opponent players on the first map itself, which is a great information to have when you are going to be play on a best of 3 series.
Yeah, so it looks like we are loading in to lobby here. Go take a look at the bans and the protects when we get into it. And then we'll start off our first domination map. I'm interested to see what the bans are going to look like. What's going to be the protects as well, right? And that really determine what we're going to see from these two teams.
Yeah, just to let you know, Joker, we have no actually web bans. There will be
Oh,
no hero bans. So everybody is free to play whatever they want. Everybody is very free to just play and experiment whatever they want.
yeah.
So it's like a great set of change maybe. But yeah, everybody is really free to pick whatever they want. And actually, this has helped, I would say, for a team like as Guardians to
Yeah.
kind of, I would not say abuse Square Girl, but just get on to that Square Girl pick, provide that support, provide that shield to her with those vanguards, and just get on to those skills and just rust off your opponent left, right, and center. But for now, folks, yes, we will be going on to the intergalactic empire of Wakanda. Burning the Chala is going to be your map. Domination is the mode. Let's see what kind of heroes and composition we see from both teams, because I know for sure that Guardians are gonna play off with that Penny Parker, Thor, if they are able to get those dive-based heroes in their position. But let's take a look.
Let us take a look indeed. And right, I'm looking at it and I'm liking, obviously this is the Gexer's pick right now with the Wolverine there, just in case someone on X as Guardians decides to pull out the Groot, right? But we'll see if that sticks for long, as it doesn't look
Yeah.
like there's going to be any Groot.
Yeah, they have changed, and of course we do see the side of Hulk, and with the second patch coming on in Marvel Rivals with the Namor Gamma Charge team up in play. I'm not sure why they're not picking up Namor. I mean, the Namor's team up with Hulk actually melts a lot of these squishy heroes. So maybe they have something else in mind. Who knows? But right now, again, as I was talking about Joker, Cuties goes up for the Square Girl pick, Senpai picking up that Cloak and Dagger, and of course, a pretty good composition overall. Two of those best healers that you can get. Mant is one of the actually a topmost healers, if you ask me, because she has one of the amazing damage output values, and she can be a pretty good secondary healer as well.
Really liking this pick though from Konami with the Hella, really good DPS, really good duelist right now in the game. See how it works though for Super 6 is already going to be coming in for it. The fight to start off here is these teams looking to stake their claim on the point to start us off. But it is going to be Girl Boss Loki taking down Drake Dev early in this. And now this is the go sign for XS Guardians. As there's going to be the stabilize, but there's just going to be so much damage, so many kills coming through from XX Guardians that Adam Warlock revive's not going to matter at all.
Yeah, that's going to be a clean sweep coming out from the side of X Guardians, and this is what I was talking about, Joker. I mean, this team knows how to just actually capitalize on every other team coming up from their position. But I'm not really sure. I actually missed out that there's an Adam Warlock from the side of Super Six, but Mantis and Cloak and Dagger being the primary healers and the secondary healers from Guardians, and Adam Warlock from Super Six. I'm not really sure, but there you go. Lunasco is going to be the first pick again coming off from the side of the Square Girl, and that support, one of the main supports going down for the first pick. It's not really a great, I would say, a scenario for the entire team of Super Six.
Not at all, not at all. As they're just going to have to wait it out, wait for that respawn to come back. But now you've got it here. Now maybe you can go in as Geckers has made that swap over to the Psylocke. And that's going to be a nice opening pick here Sorry, for the magic, and that's going to now come in. Nice freeze onto him. You might be able to take him down. Cuties is down for the count, and Naji is going to find a pick on the Konami, but there's the Cloak and Dagger ultimate coming through. Eternal Bond on the board. Magnet is going to come through, but the picks just keep coming in, but the trade is now there, right? Super 6 now have an opportunity to keep this cold going, but Loki on the point, throwing these haymakers on the cart. I have Agamotto available and going to come in here on the point. Now here comes out with the fate of both worlds in from Scoots to try to stabilize for Super 6 on the point, but you lose your Magneto. That's not what you wanted to see. Stunned up for the moment, though. Still waiting it out. It's really close to the end here, though, for XS Guardians. But Drake Dev hides a pick in this, and now going more and more into the back line there with the Hulk Smash ability. And that should really get, well, it does get the point flipped over into Super 6's favor.
Yeah, that Luna Snow charge definitely held up a lot of that Hulk Gamma, Monster Hulk Gamma charge in play. Talking about for the Guardians, they have already, secured up 93% of the point. All they need is that one wave of that Earl that they need to play. But, oh, Squirtle's right there center with that thing charging up onto the face of Hulk. And they need to be very sure about it on how they want to capitalize on the entire scenario. Punisher goes down. That's going to be a trade up from the side of Cloak and Dagger as well onto the side of Magic. Magneto is very low on HP. There you go, a double right off from the side of Squirrel Girl. I mean, at this point of time, I feel like Pretty, you are just. I'm pretty sure that she is definitely top 500 or top 600 when it comes down to the time Marvel Rivals of in the Square Girl leaderboard. But there you go. As Guardians are able to slowly and steadily take back the control of this domination point, Hulk is gonna just be right there present to just kind of like suppress and stop the progress, but not gonna really happen though. Things definitely have the Clobber Time charge up, ready and waiting. The Surgeon portals come onto the way. Maybe stop for a little bit, maybe can turn the entire pace around, but I'm still not in a favor of, Adam Warlock begin play. Wanda going for the ult, trying to stop her down. Punisher comes off, sorry, the Winter Soldier comes off with the ult. The again is definitely in play. 2 kills definitely comes up. The third one also comes up from the side of a Winter Soldier. Very low on HP. The healing is just going to be right there. This has proven out to be a very tactical play coming off from the side of Super 6. Adam Warlock's Reborn has actually provided so much of a value that 3 of the players who were just died came back alive to provide that support. Now stopping the entire team of Asgardians on that 99-point progression.
Yeah, now Drake Dev gonna find that other pick as well. Has the Hulk Smash ultimate available yet again for this next engagement. Unbeatable Squirrel World Tsunami as well available from Cuties. Could be an entry point for them here. We'll have to see if that's going to be the case, though, as we're still waiting for an opening here now as they're going to come through looking to charge on in, slam out, but they are going to get super low, and Loki down. Eye of Agamotto out, stuns up to 3, and picks keep coming through. Unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami in onto the point, but you're already lost so many if you're as Guardians. Eye of Agamotto comes in response from Smurfing, but is it going to be enough? I don't think it is, because you're only person left on the point. Overtime ticking away here now. Bullet, and it looks like Super 6 are going to take round number 1.
Yeah, this is going to be actually the first time that we have seen as Guardians not able to win the first round in any of the games that we have seen in the previous one. So gotta give a big round of applause to the side of Super 6 on how they're able to just regain back the control of the entire brawl in that particular round and completely just shredding off with Hulk. I mean, at this point of time, Hulk is actually able to provide a lot of that value and that entry point to just suppress those duelists and strategist play coming off from the side of Asgardians. Now I do see the change in the composition is going to be Thor in the mix added up with that Mantis, but I was definitely questioning up the Adam Warlock pick. But don't you think, Adam Warlock combined with her passives, Mantis and, Star-Lord can be actually be beneficial? But, again, comes down to the player's, decision to play along their favorite compositions.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, right? The revive that you can get from the Adam Warlock and
Adam Warlock.
Star-Lord. Yeah, Star-Lord matchup could be really big, but we'll have to see if that is brought into effect. We're not even going to see Adam Warlock anymore. We're going to see the Cloak and Dagger come in from 4-3 linear now as well. As now the Cloak and Dagger ultimate there. It comes Eternal Bond out from Senpai to start things off, and it's going to be a lot of damage and get it for some good space and time for Asgardians here. So they're going to come in now with the Fate of Both Worlds onto the board as coming while Soul Resurgence out from them as well into this, trying to hold on to this for XX Guardians at the moment. Still Hulk Smash available as well as clobbering time now comes, stuns him up, might be able to take down the Hulk. You do indeed. You're still going to try to hold this Eternal Bond now out from 4-3 linear. You can still hold on to this point if you're Super 6. You got to find the picks, and you seem to have done that in the end. Is Super 6 take that first fight?
I was kind of like scared of when that entire ult didn't provided that value that they needed, and he was just stunned at the wrong time. But even though that ult hasn't been wasted, it's still there for the side of Drake.dev. So overall, that retreat can definitely taking by the regain control and just stopping the entire push coming up from the side of Asgardians can be definitely be in the play. Thor comes off, and there you go. Monster Hulks comes onto the play. Thor going in for their ultimate, not going to provide that kind of a value that they want to play with that. And yes, they want to just drag that Hulk to the corner, suppress down, play on that, just suppress down his ultimate, play on that normal fawn and get back and just kill him off as soon as possible.
Meteor M does take down Bucky for the time being, but you still got some picks coming in from Cuties here. Finding another one. Kami down for the count. A nice pick coming in from Cue Ball there. That should flip the point over to XX Guardians.
Yeah, definitely. What a great play. They're actually playing onto that one-by-one approach. Oh my God. At this square girl, those Escon are just providing so much value for the side of Asgardians. But yeah, coming back to the point we're saying, they're just able to play on that one-by-one approach. They know for a fact that Hulk he's being a pain in the neck, and he's not allowing us to just regain that space. Let's take out Hulk first. They know for a fact that yes, Magic is playing onto that same thing. Let's take out Magic first. So they're playing onto the target play, slow and steady. It's really good to see a team, playing onto that kind of a scenario. But at this point of time, Super 6 are also more than capable to flip this over as soon as they get a chance to do so.
As now they come in, a nice pick coming in from Smurfing there. Gonna take down the Magneto. So now XS Guardians setting up well, 45% and counting here on the second point of domination of Bryn T'Challa. We'll see here as they come back in. A nice pick already. Geckers is down. They don't have the opportunity to use Dark Child into that fight already. So now we're just sitting and waiting for them to come back.
Sitting and waiting for the comeback. The thing comes onto the play. He knows for a fact that he has to, just kind of like protect that space that can be vulnerable from all of the tanks coming off from the side of his Guardians. But this time around, it's going to be a double ult in play. That's going to be the Cuties to play onto that ult. He eventually gets taken out from the side of the Scarlet Witch. But now the ultimate is not actually going to do a lot of damage, though. No picks being taken, targeting the side of Cloak and Dagger. Maybe this time around the Cloak and Dagger will definitely go down, though, with that secondary fire in play. But the thing will take on to that trade, and now targeting the Magneto as soon as he can, though. There are going to be 2 players coming up from the Asgardians as well. At the same time, there's going to be more than 3 players now from the side of Super 6 to be on that objective point.
As Fate of Both Worlds comes in for the Scoots on the point, trying to stabilize, getting the point back into their favor. They do indeed. Super 6 back in. Now clobbering time out from Loki. They still haven't been able to find the pick as they're going to use Dark Child coming in from Gaggers in the moment there. So they're trying to get some damage. Kami is going to find that pick, though, and another kill comes through, and Loki is down. Now you have Meteor M as well as that Hulk Smash being invested into that. But you still have Meteor M for this next fight, and could really seal the deal here.
Definitely, that Magneto's ult can actually counter both of the supports ult, which can be played, whether it's be Cloak and Dagger, which be Lunas, though, trying to flank the Cloak and Dagger, not gonna find that opportunity to kill him off, though, and that's can actually provide a lot of that spacing and that support, which might be needed from the side of Super 6 to take and flip this over. Eventually, it's going to be Square Girl to flip this side on back to the side of his Guardians, even though there was no supreme ults from the side of his Guardians. There's that. It's going to be as Guardians taking round number 2 here in the first map of Burning T'Challa.
Yeah, so now we're tied up, headed in to Stellar Spaceport. Personally, I hate Warrior Falls. I feel like that's my least favorite point in all of Marvel Rivals. I just don't like it. I feel like if you lose it the first time, now this is me just talking from my competitive experience, there's no way you win the rest of the map. But we're headed into that third and final point here. We'll have to see if any changes come through, right? And I'm not really liking this magic pick from Gexers at the moment. Maybe we'll have to see a change from them here. They're getting damage, but I don't know. They're just dying a little too much for me.
Yeah, definitely. Especially for the side of his Guardians, that classic and simple strat that we all know that you do in Hero Shooters, Joker, that you target the support. You target the strategist, and they are able to just do so in a pretty classic way. Every time around, we do see the side of Scarlet Witch just be on to that backside of Cloak and Dagger. She knows for the fact that I'll be just irritating the hell out of that player. So she's just doing her job. And whenever that opportunity strikes, one of the duelists just kills off and finish off that strategist. So no strategist, no healings being provided. You can slowly take one after another, whether it's be duelist or tanks. But it's going to be the side of the again come onto the play from the side of the Winter Soldier. Counter to that is going to be the again second time. Come on, you gotta get this boy. He does have the first kill pick come off from his side, but eventually he will be taken down from the side of Wanda.
You didn't see really any good value from the Kraken Impact besides one kill, and the pick sheet coming through as Kaname is going to be the one to find all the picks that Super 6 needed in the end to take that first fight up to 23% on already, or sorry, 30% already here and counting for Super 6.
30% and counting, 30% and climbing. Still a long way to go. They have definitely taken up that first round. The second round came from the side of Asgardians. Now this in the first map is going to be a do-or-die situation for both of them. But Doctor Strange at this point in time just trying to farm up his ultimate. He knows for the fact that his ultimate is going to provide so much value if he's able to actually stop up the entire push from the side of Asgardian onto the mouth of the spawn point. But that's not going to happen. Clobber time is also right there. And that's going to come in place. Stun ups the two of the most valuable heroes right up in the front. Trying to just dagger on to the Doctor Strange. Not sure about what magic is trying to do, but eventually the Dark Child is still alive and right there present, waiting up to see how she utilizes it. And there you go. Aya Agamotto comes in, and this might be the right time to pop it off. No, not gonna happen.
Dark Child coming in now from Gexers, but it's just going to get deleted, instantly taken down as Loki just doing good work, throwing these haymakers all around. Point is being procced up and taken by Asgardians up to 10% now.
Yeah, XX Guardians are now able to regain back. Asgardians are now able to regain back the control of the objective point, but still they have to actually survive actually 2-3 brawls, 2-3 fights, which is gonna eventually take place. And we do see the Cloak and Dagger ult. We do see the side of the Wanda being charged up with the ult, and other players are making sure that they have the ult at the right time. The first pick comes off, and that's going to be Cloak and Dagger to go down. Eventually they will get picked off though, but still Asgardians are doing a pretty good job compared to what we have seen from the side of Super 6 to hold of their opponent team. So at this point of time, they definitely know what they're doing. They definitely know how to stop the entire team of Super 6, and they're making sure nobody crosses off this fountain area for the time being.
Yes, up to 55% here for Asgardians, but Super 6 have the opportunity to come back in there as they're going to use Eternal Bond to start us off. Nice stun up now with the invisible boundary out, though, from Najee. This could seal the deal as Cuties is just going to find two. Now they do come through. Reality Erasure finding out. Cube Ball is going to be huge. Armed and Dangerous, Kraken Impact out, but it's not going to find the kills that they were looking for, and they might not be able to get that that reset, and doesn't seem like they are, as they're still going to try to hold on to this, as it looks like SX Guardians have the opportunity to keep that hold going. They've got the God of Thunder available to go, Eternal Bond. There's going to be the unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami coming through as well to wrap it all up, and the picks just keep coming through, and that might just be it for this map of domination. They do get the teleport onto the point. Eternal Bond now on the point. God of Thunder takes down a one. Now Fate of Both Worlds on the point from Scooch, trying to stabilize here. Meteor M, definitely an option for Magneto here on the point, but they need to be able to find a kill from it. Darkchild now out from Gexers as well, and the picks are now coming through from Super 6. They might have turned the tide of this fight. The picks keep coming through, and Gexers finally gonna be able to get some value with their ultimate to stabilize, take the point back, and now have a new lease on life.
Yeah, what a way to stop. And this is not the first time as Guardians have lost up a round when they have secured 99% of the same. So it's 85% and climbing. For the side of Super Sick, they have pretty decent ult, which is going to be the Eye of Agamotto coming out from the side of Dark Day, but it's going to be the teleporter coming onto the play. Maybe the right time to pop for Hurtle. Just waiting up to see what is going to be the right time. Now it's going to be the side of the Dark Magic, which is going to take on the side of the Squirrel, which was doing so much damage though. Agamotto comes in. Drake Dave gets targeted a lot, waiting in for the heals. Not going to come at the right time, though. Wanda picks off the side of the strategist. Cloakinaga goes down. Same for the side of Doctor Strange. Now they still have the control, trying to chase off the side of the thing. He's trying to make sure that he remains alive, but now, as your healer is not available, you can't really do so much. So, what a great way to just shut down a team like as Guardians to, suppress them at 99% after the point has been taken in the favor of your opponent team, and then play and take control back like this. So this was a completely overturn of events, which was kind of not expected from anybody to come up from the side of Super Six.
Yeah, really good stuff from Super 6 to start us off with Magneto Matt coming in with that MVP. Unfortunately, we don't get to see any more of that because our observer crashed. We don't get to see the ending stuff there. But still, we got to see some good gameplay, and I'm really excited to see what hopefully is going to be these last two maps of this series.
Yeah, definitely on how Super Six are able to just counterplay every other play coming off from the side of S Guardians. Not, I would say, every other 100% play. Comparatively, I would say 80% of the brawl have been definitely stopped and, kind of like counter out from the side of Super Six. Coming up from the side of S Guardian, they are playing that classic play, which they did play in the first first matchup against the side of Rose Syndicate. So, that might not work out because this is a completely different team and you need to think something really out of the box right now. But Super Six, very commendable play. Especially, kudos to the side of the Punisher, kudos to the side of the Hulk, who is doing a lot of that, making those entry points to provide that spacing for a lot of these teammates to go inside the point and regain back the control. Especially when as Guardians are being ready with those ultimates coming off, and especially with those support ults being on that counter play.
Yeah, and well, I'm excited to see where we head to next, right? I believe it was oh my goodness, I've already forgotten where we what the next map type is, but I'm really
I
excited
guess
to see.
next one is going to be convergence, and third
Yeah,
one might be the convoy, but it can be the vice versa, anyways. But I feel like at this point of time, in terms of the composition, I feel maybe I could be wrong about it. Hey, I'm just a caster here. I can only tell by alone how these guys are playing off the entire place. I feel like there's a little bit of a change in the composition that needs to be done from the side of S Guardians, because losing a point at 99% is not a feat and not a great way to start off your first map.
yeah, definitely not indeed. As we're just gotta wait for um our observer to get back into, and it looks like we
Yeah.
do have the map choice coming through from the teams here, as we're going to be hitting into Clintar, which I believe is the symbiote world, right?
Yeah, Contra, the symbiote one, and
Yeah.
and that is going to be I guess actually, yeah, that is going to be convergence only, and that is going to be the convergence mode in the second one. Again, Kinta is that map where up till the second objective point, there's only one of the choke points where you can actually capitalize on, whether it's
Yeah.
be a tier one team or tier two. There's only one capitalizing point, which is down to the downward of the entire play. But after that, I feel like again, if you are able to give away the second objective point on a map like Clintar, third one is pretty much easy. And two, of course, there's a long way from the second objective point to the third objective point we need to finish it
Yeah.
off. But I feel like when you're defending as on the convoy mode, you just have to go in for the kills. You just have to, just
Yeah.
suppress down the duelist and everybody, those squishy 250 and 350 HP heroes. There's not a lot of that plays that you can do on as a defensive based team. But when you are attacking, there are a whole lot of strategies that you gotta play around. You just gotta
Mhm.
be onto that flanking scenarios. There are a lot of that space and a lot of that outward and inward positions around the Clintar map where you can play as, you can play really great as a Psylocke. You can really play great as a Star Lord. All of those flank based kind of like dive based or maybe flank based kind of like heroes, because it has so much of that space which allows you to play something like that on an attacking scenario.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what the compositions are going to be. Symbiotic Surface going to be the convergence map here, though. So, as now we'll have to we'll see what the compositions are going to be, what they're going to try to take into this, or are we going to just see more of the same?
I feel like as Guardians are a little bit very force to be reckoned with. I mean, they are pretty much not that flexible. I would say overall, they're not much that hey, we're gonna go for that change. I feel like in terms of the overall composition, we might not see a very big shift. They'll definitely go in for that similar play that they went in for that first domination game. But I'm pretty sure Super Six will be actually up for a lot of changes. I personally feel that, but again, I could be wrong about it.
We'll have to see as we are about to load into the game here, and then we shall see what we'll see and how this will go. Do we get as Guardians tying up the series, forcing us into a
Yeah.
convoy, or does Super Six take it here and now, take that 2-0 and set themselves up well?
Let's see, man. Let's see. Only time can tell. Only the players' overall approach inside on a map like Symbiotic Surface can tell on how they want to approach. Again, on a map like Symbiotic Surface, yes, you do get a lot of the option to kind of like play those heroes like Namor. Especially, I'm waiting to see. Actually, there's nobody still picking up Emma Frost. I'm not sure if she's banned from picking up or she's in that cooldown period, but I'm pretty sure that you can actually try out Emma Frost. So I want to see someone actually playing up Emma Frost. She's great with her team up ability. Coming off with Magneto and Psylocke, so I'm actually hoping to see that. But yeah, coming off what kind of heroes can really great when it comes on a map like Symbiotic Surface. Of course, Venom is a great pick. Of course, it's Venom's own home turf, and Venom is a great one, especially onto that third point objective space where you have a lot of that aerial play that you can do. Just swing by, put onto that dash, target out that flank, and target the back line to just delete that back line. I would say for the side of Venom, but it's also a great map for heroes like Hawkeye and Black Widow. You have that spacing where you can actually alongside the long range zone, hit scan based heroes. Same goes with Punisher. Same goes with Namor. Actually, same goes for Hela also. But it again comes down to your choice, comes down to your approach, your tactical strategies which you can actually pull off on a map like this. I have seen a lot of like I'm pretty sure that you have also seen a lot of the play that we have seen in the recent Marvel Rivals Championship. I'm not really sure if it was season one or maybe it was season zero. I guess it was,
Season
yeah,
one.
definitely season one, where we did saw a lot of that Fantastic Four approach also coming down to the play, where you have actually three of the strategists, then you have three of those tanks, but of course one of the pseudo tanks being Mr. Fantastic in play on a map like Kantar. So anything can go around, but let's take a look at the team composition for now.
And look at that. There's the Groot coming in from Smurfing, right? Was expecting it a little bit a while ago, but now we're finally going to be seeing it from them here with the Hulk. Interestingly enough, from Loki, not going to be seeing Magneto or just not seeing a Magneto. Something to kind of be notable, right? With Magneto being one of the two best tanks in the game, along with that Groot. But we'll see if that's going to matter in the long run for them. Obviously, they have some sort of set strategy for it. We were talking about that earlier, though. The team up between oh my goodness, I have forgotten.
Hulk and Namor.
Yes, Hulk and Namor. We'll be seeing that now.
I mean, this is a great composition for the side of Super 6. They have Wolverine to counter out that entire group. They have Hulk and Namor team up, and that Gamma Charge, utility play can actually just melt down, heroes like Cloak and Dagger and everybody. But for now, we do see a great fight right down in that, pretty tight zone where you can actually Wolverine can actually shine, but Magneto takes on the side of Hulk. There you go. Wolverine comes out to play. He's gonna snatch away the side of Groot, and Groot goes down just like that. So that opening entry is definitely not gonna come up pretty simple for the side of Asgardians.
I wanted to say, I mean, you're talking about getting easily to get people very, very low, right? We saw that as Loki has made that swap over to the Thing now after just getting deleted on a Incredible Hulk that first go through. Now we're going to see they did some really good stuff with it, but a nice pin in yet again. Gonna get stunned up, taken down. Unbeatable Scroll Tsunami gonna be taking Gexers down for the time being. Now Meteor M coming through, gonna be on the money. Senpai down, Eternal Bond gets shut down and countered out. Now Horn of Proteus out as well. There's the fate of both worlds coming in from Scoots to try to stabilize on point for Super 6. They definitely have the opportunity to, but the Chain Prison coming through, now coming in. As that could be enough to keep things going as Kraken Impact does come through, does take down Scoots. Another one comes through, but they aren't going to be able to find much more. There's more and more Kraken Impacts coming through as Cue Ball fighting the
baby.
four Ex-Asgardians as they go again, and again.
And this is what we're waiting in for. Actually, when you play Winter Soldier, you know for a fact that you're gonna hear that again and again. And what a way to just capitalize on all of the damage being dealt from all of the ultimates and the counter ultimates coming onto that charge. And a great play that they finally get onto that convoy, they finally get onto that payload, and a push away is going to be the strategy now. But yes, I would say for the side of Super 6, they finally understood for the fact that yes, they are able to suppress down a lot of that charge and play coming off from the side of Asgardians. And actually, Asgardians per se for the fact that they actually took down Namor. Namor is super, I mean, OP right now in terms of a very simple language. Her team up with Hulk is kind of like just a complete. He just completely melts down squishy heroes. But yeah, Hulk Smash is gonna come into the play, and now it's gonna be a huge turn of events for both sides. So Star-Lord is gonna just freeze up. Wolverine's gonna take that advantage. Shift charge in play. The bounce off is also gonna charge up the Luna Snow's ultimate to provide that support which they need. But there you go, pin and play. Is gonna do a lot of the damage towards the side of Groot. A second one, and that Groot is gonna go down alongside Luna Snow as well.
Yeah, the last stand coming in there from Gexers, doing a lot of work for Super 6 right now. They're trying to take their stand on the point as they're still waiting it out. They did get the fate of both worlds to stabilize for the time being. Didn't really do much more than that right now. Unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami out from Cuties and is going to take down Scoots, but they are going to be able to get the revive in from 4-3 Linear. It's going to bring back 3 into the fight, but the Kraken Impact comes through.
Oh boy.
They've got more and more kills again from Cue Ball, continuing to show utter dominance with this hero. Looking to figure it out, try to get some more kills, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. They get the bubble in. Hulk is going to be coming back in quite quickly, though.
Quite quickly, though, but what a great play coming off from the side of Cue Ball. Every time he gets that ultimate, this is the second time that we have seen him in that ultimate play, and he is able to provide that opening the kind of opening which maybe tank or strategist should provide. The ultimates which strategists and tanks should be doing that role though, to provide that opening where everybody can just capitalize on. But right now, as I was talking about it, if you lose out to that first objective point, the second objective point is something that will be taken care of. The first objective point will be taken care of. Now this whole journey is going to be a little bit hard for the attacking team. For the side of defensive team, yes, things can actually completely shift your way, because this is a place where a lot of that aerial heroes can be used. This is a place where actually a lot of that Namor squids can be used to just melt down the entire front line and the back line of your opponent team.
As we see here now, Eternal Bond coming in from Senpai, but Meteor M could be the counter that they need to
Oh,
throw down. A big Meteor strike in from Magneto Matt there on the board, but you're still going to maybe fall down here. The revive comes in from 4-3 linear to bring them back into the fight. Is now slept up, down, Hulk's smash coming in, or no, just back into the fray as Hulk does Drake Dev. Is right now they're holding, stabilizing at the time being. Fate of Both Worlds available for the time. We'll see here as they're going to come back in. Kraken Impact available on cart. So they're going to try to rotate back for the moment. Still waiting, still trying to hold in. Clobbering time in, stunned up. Now ultimate tsunami of squirrels coming in. Fate of Both Worlds out as well. Hulk smash coming through too. See here, though, who's going to be able to stabilize, who's going to be able to find the pitch. The Horn of Proteus comes through in the clutch, finds the supports and takes down 2, and that's going to be the hold coming in from Super 6.
the thing is trying his level best to just target the back line and do his thing, but now eventually he will be taken out from the side of Wolverine. That's going to be Square Girl, which is going to get pinched down from the side of Wolverine, but she will eventually be killed off from that squid in charge. Right now, as Guardian needs to recompose, recollect themselves and go for that soft reset that they want to do. Again, it's going to be that ultimate ready and waiting from the side of QWorld 21, and this is the perfect time to actually find that opportunity when everybody's going to be low on health, or maybe try to just sec on to that any of those ultimates coming off from maybe a Hulk, or maybe a Wolverine, or maybe even from the side of Namor as well. But for now, it's going to be a double and a triple and a trade-off from both sides, and the thing is going to be the lone player surviving from the side of as Guardians. Wolverine still has a chance to maybe pop his ultimate, but he's not going to do so because it's not needed, and as Guardians will be wiped out again.
Yeah, and now we're down to the nitty-gritty. Under a minute to go in, well, a second here, and now we're going to see, this is the nitty-gritty, right? You've got to be able to capture it here, or you're facing a end of your series, your end of your tournament lives is going to go in, now in with the picks coming in, but you've already lost Cuties out, and now you're not going to be able to find anything with that strangling prison either, as Meteor M comes down from high, and that's going to be the reset yet again. Super 6 continuing their hold, 30 seconds to go, and XS Guardians are struggling.
Yeah, finally, I feel like the odds are favoring the side of Super 6. We have seen, like, for the first time in the first map series, and for this one also, we did saw the side of us Guardians not able to secure that first round victory that they have kind of like the habit of doing so. And now it's, I feel like it's going to happen the same in the first map itself. The thing has the Clobbering time ready and waiting, but he's still going to charge up that his damage as soon as possible to target that support. And there you go. The charge at the ultimate comes up from the side of Winter Soldier. He gets a double. He knows for a fact that Luna's ultimate cannot actually can counter the entire thing. But again, not really sure if he can actually get in that 5 second. Yeah, he gets it. The ultimate charge is back again in play. He gets that fourth, possibly a third, and eventually he can actually wipe out the entire team. There you go.
Yeah, and it's going to be huge, right? But you still have to push this in overtime. You still got an opportunity to come back into this if you are Super 6 to get the hold, but you might lose your Namor. But a nice stun up coming through, and Gexers finds that opening onto Cue Ball here, and that's going to be a big opening now. You come through, strangling prison out from Smurfing, but you've got the last stand ready to go from Gexers into this, and there they go. It's going to be slicing, dicing, taking down 2, and that should be the stop coming in from Super 6 at the doorstep of point number 3.
Point number two, actually, objective number two, going in for the side of his guardians, and now they are here to, just take that twist in the tail. I'm kind of surprised to see none of the team from both sides actually potentially going in for the Johnny Storm, going in for the Storm in play, because on a map like Contra, it can be actually very viable though. But not a problem though. It's up to the position how they want to tackle this entire thing around. But now for Super Six to defend this entire thing and as Guardians to be on the attacking side, let's see on how much actually Super Six on to that push, and as Guardians being on their defense, on how actually Super Six can actually push down till the end or not. Because as Guardians know, as Guardians on the defense are pretty strong. I've seen them play in the first map itself. Playing with that Loki and Winter Soldier and the QT's Apecron combined, they are one team to be not messed up with in the defensive in their defensive side, because they have just way too much firepower when it comes down to the overall defensive play.
I mean, but look at Kaname right now, 24 and 4, right? They're doing such good work for Super 6 here, still on that Namor to try to finish it all off. This could be the end of the run for X as Guardians, but we'll have to wait and see if they have something in the works for us. Girl Boss Loki bring out the Penny Parker. Not something I was expecting to see here today, but good for the defense here. We'll see if that's going to work. Kaname on the side, gonna using those squid turrets, getting some good damage here into the back line. Gonna be pressuring out XX Guardians as the moment as Gexers tries to find an opening pick here, but right now nothing doing quite just yet, as we're still waiting to get in, waiting to see who's going to find this opening pick, and it looks like it might be Linear going down. No, they're still alive and well, but still waiting. There's the pick. Drake down, finding cue ball out is massive. They are still going to try to stay alive, but you're getting pretty low. You are going to fall, but the pick still coming in from Super 6. Eternal Bond on the point, finds Drake Devs in in their Bruce Banner form, but still not going to matter in the end. Should end things all off in the end with a revive coming through from Linear at the moment, keeping things going the way of Super 6.
Keeping the way going in definitely for the side of Super 6, but there you go. The ultimate comes off in the charge, gonna provide that entire, finite health for the next couple of seconds. Adam Warlock needs to be taken care of. We do see Adam Warlock actually proving a lot of damage to the overall strategist. Both of the players goes down. Double K actually coming off from the side of Wolverine, possibly a triple. Gets stunned from that Kron, but yeah, there we go. A triple coming off from the side of Wolverine. And even though Super 6 will finally take that control of the payload, a lot of the time has been actually wasted from the side of his Guardians. Usually we don't see the point being given away so easily, and that has been completely
Oh my goodness.
rolled up with.
Big. That's a big pick right there. Getting Senpai out early like that is huge, and now you can keep pushing forward, but you are going to lose Magneto thanks to that Squirrel Prison, and another one bites the dust because of it. Now you don't have either of your Vanguards in this engagement because of just the Squirrel Girl, and now you have to back up here if you're Super 6.
Yeah, you gotta back off and regain that control that you have lost every now and then. Wolverine trying his level best though, but every now and then when he's trying to catch someone and bring him back for that pounce, he gets taken care of from anyone. But Hela comes up with the ultimate. First kill is definitely gonna come up, and trying to find the second and third one as well, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Her ultimate has done what could have been done in that scenario. But for now, Hulk will be back in that Bruce Banner form. Drake Dot Devil is playing right there on the front mouth of the spawn point, and they're just waiting for that opportunity. But they have to remember for a fact that they have to create that opportunity for themselves. They have to create that entry point for themselves. Magneto has the ult, Hulk has the ult, Adam Warlock has the ult. They just need to find that the timing where they can actually place down that ult and create that maximum value.
As now they come through yet again, Horda Proteus down, and that's going to be Nagi out of the fight. Should just be the progress keep on going. Eternal Bond has been invested, so there's going to be some nice chip damage coming in, and Drake Dev gonna have to force to use the Hulk Smash to stay alive and well. You've lost a couple of people here in the meanwhile, but the picks coming in, and the res is there from Linear to keep this going in the favor of Super 6, as now we are going to see some more progress coming in.
I want to see more progress coming in slowly and steadily. They are trying to, just a little bit overextend themselves because they know for a fact that don't have much time in their hand. It's 2 minutes remaining on the clock, and they have to soon get onto this control, to objective control, so they can actually have that late head start in the second objective as well.
Drake Dev out of the fight with the fate of both worlds coming in. Dark Child now in from Gexers, and it is going to find Senpai early on. And you might be able to find some more, but you're going to get stunned up, taken down thanks to the scroll prison there as well. And now you might be a little bit, well, no, maybe not. You're finding picks now. You've got this scroll tsunami out as well, but you're taken down. You lose Linear for the moment, but the res is going to come through in the end, and that's going to be second point taken here by Super 6. Only 2 minutes 50 on the board here, though. Bullet is not looking too hot, but there's still definitely a chance to take it here.
Definitely a chance to take it down here, but at this point of time, I feel like as Guardians will find something, to stop the overall push coming off from the side of Super 6. Because I have seen them, making moves like in this previous game and the previous round itself that we saw coming off from the side of his Guardians. Corporate attack comes in, the players are gonna get stunned, but Luna Soul's ultimate is gonna keep her alive, and Magneto is gonna come up with that ult, but he will definitely take care of that Cloak and Dagger ult. There you go, and this is why you actually play a Magneto like that.
Yeah, Magneto Matt living up to their name, right? Playing really good, landing every Meteor M to perfection. And now they've gotten this cart moving yet again, getting some space, looking to finish it off here, especially since you have this revive from Adam. You've got the Karmic Revival into this next engagement. You're sitting so well, but the ultimate Squirrel Tsunami comes in early on, and that might just be a forced reset here from XX Guardians on a Super 6 because of those picks.
Yeah, I mean, anything can be said at this point of time, but finally it's going to be the side of our Guardians to stop up that push, regain the control back to their side. That Bruce Banner was still alive, so of course the team will take care of that one. 1 minute 15 seconds left on the clock. What is going to be possibly is going to be just maybe maximum last 3 engagements, which can happen, or maybe the last 2. Either of this can go to either one of them.
You'll have to see, right? Gexers has this Dark Child available here with that Karmic Revival. Things are setting up well for Super 6, but you've got to be careful. You've got to be wary of the ultimates on the board for XS Guardians as well, especially if you can find that opening there. And there's Cuties down for the count. Now they're going to come in, Fate of Both Worlds out from Najee to try to stabilize on the point, but is it going to be enough? I don't know. Clobbering time out yet again. Dark Child now out from Gaxers as well, but they're super low, trying to get some kills, trying to find anything, but the Kraken Impact gonna be finding some value that you needed. Meteor M comes through on the top of Cue Ball to try to stabilize. There's the revival coming in. You've got them back in this fight with the Fate of Both Worlds coming through, but you are gonna lose out Conmay for the moment. The rival gonna come back in, bring them back into the fight, into the fray yet again. 2 seconds to go, and the picks coming in for Super 6 might have sealed the deal. The respawns are coming back. You've got Hulk Smash to stave them off, but the picks are all there, and no one's going to be able to touch Super 6. Take the series 2-0.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, what a close game coming off for the side of his Guardians. I mean, in the first map, I did saw the struggle phase coming off from the side of his Guardians on how they were actually not able to block those entry and engagements coming off from Super Six. But winning out in the second map itself tells a lot about the side of Super Six and the kind of team, the kind of coordination, the kind of the overall game knowledge that these lads have.
What a great series from Super 6 there. Interestingly enough, I mean, Scoots is the one to get the MVP, but Kaname with 44 elims, only 8 death is something to speak on. 36k damage. Not top in the lobby, but still really, really good stuff from Kaname. Scoots as well, doing everything they can. 60,000 healing in that series is incredible.
And Scoot was just doing his job, man. As a healer, your primary job is to heal. As a healer, your primary job is to make sure that nobody, you know, try at your maximum effort that nobody dies on your team. And he was definitely doing that. 60,000, the one healing, which is obviously because he's Luna Stone, you will definitely see 25, 30,000 healing. But 60,000 healing tells a lot on how much he contributed for his entire team.
Really good stuff. Really good stuff indeed. We have our finals slated. It's OTPGG versus Super 6. We'll see that right after our break. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss the finals of this Marvel Rivals tournament. Welcome back for real this time. I'm still Joker, that's still Bullet, and we are ready to get in to the grand finals here between Super 6 and OTPGG.
Yes, sir.
Should be a good series. I mean, we just saw Super 6 really put it to X as Guardians here, and now we're heading into the grand finals. We'll see if they can do it again with this OTPGG team.
Yeah, I mean, for the side of Super Six, they have definitely kind of like showed who's the boss when it comes down playing against a really supreme team like Asgardi, who were actually able to just suppress down the every other team that they have played against. But when we talk about the side of OTP, I haven't seen really of their games or of their performance. So I'm also in a little bit of that very kind of like surprising stuff which can happen from OTPGG.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one, right? Looking now, just obviously basing off of
Assumptions.
basing off of ranks, right?
Right.
It's gonna be a tough one for them. Obviously, there was the rank decay, so they're these ranks aren't really where they were at the end of season one, right? So
Yeah.
we can't really take that into account, but it is going to be a tough uphill battle, it seems, for OTPGG. But hey, I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to see the underdog take down Super 6 here, like we just saw in that last series. But it's going to be an uphill battle, and again, that ping's looking not looking too well. But hey, I'm still excited for this either way.
Yeah. Talking about the side of how many maps we have, I guess we have a BO5, but probably a BO3. We will get onto that confirmation pretty soon, folks. But the point is, we're gonna have some, really fun and interesting games coming up ahead. And of course, let's take a look at the team lineup. If
Mm.
everything's ready inside, let's take a look at the team lineup coming up from the side of OTP GG, because we definitely know who are going to be the players from the side of Super 6. But I'm really excited to see who are going to be the players and what kind of roles they're going to pick up from their side, because we have definitely seen two tanks, we have definitely seen two strategists, and two duelists, which is the pretty common mix of the entire Marvel Rivals history composition for the last 3 months, because the game came out in December first week. But when it comes down to the some extraordinary gameplay, we are just waiting to see that. Now it's gonna be Shishpi, Kaxo 4, Neko de Aru, Kenny Crab, Yodel Rod, and Kurahao A96.
Yeah, looking really um good at this, right? I'm interested to see right where we're going to get what we're going to get from them in this, right? I'm assuming being named OTP GG, they're all OTPs, right? So it's going to be interesting, and I think this is actually the team that we were talking about in chat. This is the team from Japan as well.
Oh,
So this is going to be that's why the ping was a little bit bad for him, right? Because I'm looking at their team sheet right now, and Connie Crab was the number one Iron Fist in Japan for season 0, and then Shu Pai was the number one Japan Spider-Man player. So it should be fun stuff to see from them here. Now let's take a look yet again at that Super 6 roster. We just saw it, and we'll take a look at it again here.
yeah, we'll take a look at it again here, and yes, we have seen the kind of play Kanamiya, Magneto Matt, and 4-3 Linear does. Especially Magneto Matt, just absolutely insane on that Magneto. Ults coming off from the slide. Every time whenever we see somebody popping off Luna Snow's ult or Cloak and Dagger ult in the opposition, this guy is more than ready to shut anyone out when he has that opportunity to do so. I did saw like overall in terms of the duelist play. I didn't saw in the last particular game Jixer able to provide the same value which he was able to provide in his first matchup against some other teams. But well, eventually, I guess we will see the better half and the better version from everybody, because this is going to be a best of three grand finale, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be best of three, and um, obviously here as well, we're going to be starting out on domination yet again. Hell's Heaven going to be the setting for our grand finals to start us off here, and I'm excited to see. This is a Hydra map, and we'll see how it starts off.
Yeah, L7 is a very, I would say, a closed spaced match where you don't have a lot of the space where you can actually just hide and flank on, especially feeling sad for all the Psylocke and maybe I would say same for Black Panther and stuff. But Hell 7 is definitely a map which favors a lot of the strategist positioning around if you're able to just, stay in the back, keep hitting your teammates, and just avoid those kind of like, I would say, the midline or the front line fight which you usually want to see which you usually do see in the other maps as well. In the Hell 7, you just need to just as a strategist play on the back, or provide that support as soon as you can. Maybe in those ultimate you can be a little bit aggressive, but I feel like Hell 7 is more of like on how uh you know overall it depends on your positioning more compared to on the other factors on a map like Hell 7.
We shall see. We shall see. As we are about to load in the game to start off our grand finals to see who is going to be taking this first Marvel Rivals Tournament for Korea CCA here, and obviously I'm really excited to crown this champion.
I mean, this tournament has been, a long time coming from all of the folks from the side of Corina, Custom Arena, and a huge shout out to everybody who has been, in the back end to make this possible. Because us as casters, we do get the appreciation of being in camera and casting games and stuff. But a huge shout out to everybody in the back end team as well for making this Marvel Rivals tournament possible. And of course, these are round one games, but all of the games coming up from the grand finale, from all of the that we did saw some other teams playing in from the round one itself. But yeah, things can be interesting. Things is gonna get pretty heated up, and we are just waiting up for the loading screen to get finished, and of course, then we will jump straight up into the game pretty soon, folks. But what do you think, Joker? What kind of composition, what kind of maybe heroes we might see in the first map of grand finale?
Well, if I had to guess, I think we're going to see some Spider-Man and Iron Fist.
Yeah, definitely,
that's
definitely. I'm
that's what I'm
uh,
gonna.
I'm definitely rooting in for the Spider-Man. Trust me, I'm definitely rooting in for Spider-Man. This is a map where you actually don't have a lot of space, so you definitely use that Spider-Man drag along that everybody to the drag everybody out of the boundary play. So you just drag around that that reel that and the TikTok that everybody has saw. And if you are actually able to play like that with Spider-Man on Hell 7, trust me, people are gonna lose their minds.
Well, we're gonna load in here. OTPGG versus Super 6. We'll see how this turns out here. Who's gonna come out on top? Who is going to fall at the moment? It's interesting, right? We're seeing currently a 3 duelist lineup from OTPGG.
Yeah. For now, it is going to be the side of King Rap to go for a Fantastic Four, Luna Slow, Iron Fist, Spider-Man, Magneto, and Loki. And yes, there's going to be a triple duelist lineup, aggressive one indeed. Comes down to Super Six. I haven't seen the last guy going in for anybody. Gonna wait and watch. Folks really going in for Adam Warlock, Magic, Magneto, Hulk, Namor. So probably the best way to definitely is to go in for a second flank. I mean, Adam Warlock, he's a great healer. Don't get me wrong, but definitely not recommended as a primary healer.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3.
We'll see here now. It's going to be difficult, right? You don't have much of a frontline presence. without your 2 DPS, right? But or without your 2 strategists, or no, my goodness, 2 vanguards. Goodness gracious. But we'll see if it matters for them, if the damage they output is enough to deal with it here. There's Drake Dev already if trying to buy some time, buy some space at the moment, but we're seeing Kaka try to get some space here, try to find some picks, but at the moment it is really it's really just anyone's point at the moment. As there's the pick already opening. OTP GG gonna find an opening pick as Magneto finds that kill for them, but the picks quickly turn around into the favor of Super 6 just after that.
Just how that's gonna target the Luna Slow. Luna Slow goes down. Iron Fist doing a lot of that heavy lifting, and sort of like that it's time for the hull to go down. But no, it's gonna Nemo to provide that support. Mr. Fantastic Four, last remaining guy on the ground, and of course he will be eventually taken down. So Super Six is gonna be the team to actually come out to the top in this first brawl of the entire team fight, and it's great to see that. Even though Namor not having Hulk gamma charge, and he's even after that, beyond that, he's able to provide so much damage and value for his team is completely commendable at this point of time. Magic gonna come up, gonna target the side of Spider-Man. A pretty good damage done, but there you go. Spider-Man will be taken care of pretty soon from the side of Super Six.
There's Connie Crab on Mr. Fantastic here. Looking to get it started, looking for an opening here, but that's going to be a Loki ability out to start it off, but nothing really doing quite just yet. Neither of these two teams have an opening quite just yet, but Meteor M now ready to go from Magneto Matt. The healing needs to come through as Geckers finds that opening there for Super 6 to start it off yet again. Shu is trying to do some work to try to find some value, but they're not able to. They're so low, they have to get out, and now the picks just keep coming through from Super 6.
Yeah, Spider-Man needs to come up onto the top and perform really supremely well. He needs to target the side of Demo. He needs to target the side of Lunas, though. Definitely, you can also target Magic, but Magic is on a little bit of that aggressive stance. But first round, pretty I feel like easy, which can actually is going in for the side of Super Six in the first map of Hell's Heaven, but still it's going to be a little bit of that change. Spider-Man comes in, it's going to be the ultimate play, but at the right nick of time it's going to be Luna's Snow ult. Of course Magneto's ult is going to charge and waiting, but ooh, with that Magneto's external shield, Luna Snow is going to survive. Now more ult comes out at the same time. Now it's going to be Iron Fist combined with the Luna Snow in the opponent team, which is gonna do a lot of that damage as well. But the Luna Snow's ult is definitely gonna protect them as long as possible for the next couple of seconds.
Now they come in. There's the res in from 4-3 linear to keep things going for Super 6 in this engagement. Keep things, keep their fight in their pocket here. 99% and counting. It's just about cleaning up the remaining members on OTPGG, and it should be the case as the picks keep coming through, and that's round 1 going to Super 6.
I mean, that was pretty quick. I didn't expect that to happen in a grand finale matchup. I was definitely expect that it will go out to like 80 to 89 from both sides, but that was Super Six to secure that victory. Pretty old-fashioned way and pretty effective way, if you honestly ask me.
Yeah, it's, I mean, look, yeah, that's just kind of tough, right? The disparity there in Elam's is really telling. As I mean, just there was only 4 deaths on the side, and one of them just revives himself. So, yeah, it's not doing too hot right now for OTPGG, but that can all change as we head into the second round of Hell's Heaven.
Yeah, and then that is that one map, and that is that one round which can be very pivotal for the side of OTPGG as well. But for another one, let's try this middle door which connects to the carriage over there. And we already see Hulk taking that aggressive stance to target out the opponent's Iron Fist.
Yeah, we'll see here. As Gaxer's just gonna find kind of crab out already. That looks like more and more will come their way as Gexers finds another one in that 4-3 linear. Going to be able to take down another one in the way for OTPGG, and that should set up Super 6. And it is already in, they are in control of the capture point.
Yeah, it's going to be the side of Super 6 to be on that leading front. OTP not really sure what's going wrong for them. But the one thing that is going supremely right for the side of Super 6 is that both of the tanks know when to back off, or maybe Caster Curse is real. Magneto was just rounded alive, made that statement, and he goes down the very next second. But for now, it's going to be the side of Hulk to come up with a gamma charge and Super 6 able to provide and deal damage to a large extent to the entire team of OTPGG.
Soulbond out is there's definitely an opportunity here for OTPGG to come back into this, but you're still going to have to deal with some ultimates coming in, and that's going to be the Johnny ultimate coming out there on high. As now they're going to come through as Meteor M does take down that Iron Fist. The picks just keep coming through here from Super 6 as the Eye of Agamotto comes in clutch. They do stop some people, and the picks are now coming in from OTPGG, but Dark Child out and from Gexers, and there's going to be slicing, dicing their victory in their way as this is looking better and better for Super 6. They're locking things down here.
They're locking things down, and as you hear the in-game narrative, folks, they have already got it. But Raptor is preparing a protect, for the fact that he needs to flank around and take the control back of the entire point for myself and my team, and a little bit late entry, but they will be on point. They have to decide where they want to challenge the entire team out on which particular angle. Luna Snow takes down the side of Cameron TTV. There you go, another Adam Warlock guy goes down. Two more just of the guys surviving. I'm pretty sure Super 6 will take care of both.
Yeah, it is just about the end of time as there is going to be a use of the Living Shield, but it's not going to matter, right? As it's all Super 6 in that kill feed. Hell's Heaven goes their way up 1-0 in the grand finals.
I mean, I I don't know about you, but I'm surprised to see a 2-0 happening in the first map. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this is a grand finale where you expect a lot of that competitive spirit and team giving their 100%. I feel like there's some maybe communication lab, or maybe they're not able to understand on how they actually can counter Super Six in an environment like this. But I don't know. I mean, on a first map of grand finale we are 2-0. Maybe it can like what ended pretty soon in the map score of overall 2-0. Who knows? It definitely looks like it. Trust me.
It does look like that indeed. I mean, Koro Yahaya is trying their best, right? There's that 10k healing coming in from them, right? But they're just not able to stay alive in these fights long enough to keep their team up, keep their team healthy, allow them to get the kills necessary. And it's just this really tough stuff for OTPGG at the moment. Hopefully, as we head into Convergence next, we'll see if that can change. We'll see if that anything will change for it. As we're going to be headed, we already have our map 2 choice coming in. It's going to be Symbiotic Surface again.
Yeah, one more time that we will see the side of Super Six to play on that Kantar map, and I feel like they'll definitely have that momentum advantage because in the last match against the side of his Guardian, they really did dirty against a very good team like his Guardians. They really showed the way to the outside of tournament, and I feel like this can be the pretty same case too. But I'm expecting a really good fight from the opponent team, which is going to be the side of OTP. I'm really hoping that this team also performs and outshines the opponent in a better way.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some good highlights for OTP obviously, we never want to see a stomp, especially in grand finals like this, but we'll have to see if that's in the cards today. See who's attacking, who's defending first. And then from there, we'll see what happens on Symbiotic Surface. It could end all here, and Super 6 could be our grand finals champions, as this is still a best of 3.
Yeah, it's not a best of five, folks. Whoever was asking in the chat is going to be a best of three. So yeah, when it's a best of three, Super Six actually have, they're actually on a overall series point right now in terms of winning this finale event and one of the first Marvel Rivals tournament from Corena's Customs Arena. So I feel like if they're able to win this, this will be a really historic, because you have defeated so many good teams in the past, and one of the teams being as Guardians, where they have played so well in their previous game, and then you came up out of nowhere and defeated them, and teams like a two for more like this. But when we talk about in this map, because it's a grand finale, that's the point. In a grand finale map, if you are able to do 2-0 in a BO3 series, you are making a straight up statement to your opponent that, hey, we can do a 2-0 again in the, I mean, if it's a convergence, of course you'll take the point control and then put it out in the limited time that you have. So we can definitely just win out this entire thing in front of you, and you won't be able to make up a mark. So I feel like Super 6 is in that mindset, because 2-0 on Hell 7 is not that easy in a lobby like this.
Yeah, definitely could. It's definitely not easy at all, but championships are never easy. As we should be loading into the game. I'm 95% sure on that fact. But still waiting to get in there, and then we'll see. Look at that beacon. You ye shall receive. Looks like looks like Super 6 will be attacking first.
The right here.
But
Super
I'm
6 will be
not a hundred
defending, I
percent.
guess, first.
Okay.
I guess defending, yeah, because they are in blue, but they are in orange.
Okay. Perfect.
No, no, no. Super Six is actually attacking. Sorry.
All right. All right. So we'll have to see, right? Can OTPGG put on a good defense here?
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. Connie Crab is going to be going over to the strategist role for Yordle Lord. He's going to taking up the Winter Soldier now.
Yeah. Oh, we do see a major change, by the way. For the side of OTP, we do have Cax going in for Iron Fist. We do have Shushu going in for the side of Human Torch. Of course, we have two of the best healers, but just only one tank again. So I'm not really sure if this in this particular heavy push and flank push, if they will be able to protect them. But for the side of Super Six, it's looked decent, it looked balanced.
I think it's just going to be tough, right? At this point, I feel like you need two tanks for this point specifically if you want to get that full hold, or just a hold in general. So it's going to be pretty hard for OTPGG here, but we'll have to see, right? They've already maybe kind of caught out the Iron Fist here. Yeah, Kakez is going to get caught out here early, and going to be forced back to their team, as now they're in the front line, but not going to be able to do too much at the moment. A nice opening, though, here comes in as Magneto Matt. Going to get taken down early, but still, I don't know if it's going to be enough, as Ka is going to be super low. Going to get the healing necessary, though. Stabilizing here for the time being, as Super 6 look to find an opening.
Yeah, Super Six, on the other hand, we do see Namor going up against the side of Iron Fist. And trust me when I say this, Iron Fist is one of the most irritating heroes that you can deal against, or you can play against for sure. At this point of time, it's a hard. But when it comes down to Yuri Lord, is going to be playing in with the Winter Soldier from the side of OTPGG. They know they have So for the fact that they can actually put up a great gameplay. That first drag actually gets wasted. Now maybe a second one from the side of Winter Soldier, but in this distance is a little bit hard to do it successfully.
Yeah, good opening fight here for OTPGG. Now they can show that they can put up these fights. They just got to do it for a long run now, as they're going to be walking in yet again. Kraken Impact available, I think. Yeah, still from Yordle Lord is now is going to be used here early on. But there's going to be the fate of both worlds out. Invisible barrier or invisible boundary coming in from Kura to try to stabilize this for OTPGG, and you might be able to do that as you find 4-3 linear out. Looks like Supernova came in as well. Meteor Am now comes onto the point. So they're going to try to hold on to this as the picks are coming through, as the revives coming in from 4-3 linear, going to bring back people on the point. It's huge. Darkchild now coming through. This should be enough to keep it going the way of Super 6. The picks are there and everything red in this kill feed. Living Chi not going to be enough to turn the tide of this fight.
Until 4 comes along.
Yeah, Super 6 back in the control. Super 6 know for a fact that we will get this payload back in control and we will push this as far as ahead. I mean, same story which I said previously, man. On the map of Skuntar, you don't have a lot of that choke points as a defense. You don't have a lot of that space. Actually, you have a lot of that space where you can actually hide and play, especially on a hero like Namor and stuff, where you want to just flank and take out the back line as soon as possible. But let's see what's gonna happen.
We shall see indeed, as already looking to get some value here early on. Shu is pretty low at the moment. Hulk Smash now comes in from Drake Dev, pushing forward. And they're going to be able to get an opening pick. 4-3 Linear is the one to take down Shushu out of the sky, and the picks are coming through from Drake Dev in this Hulk Rage form. Now they're pushing him into this tight little area. The symbiote is going to save their lives for the moment as the cart is moving forward.
The car will definitely moving forward as they have procured that the best in the safe spaces that they can actually just prevent all the guys on the choke point from the side of OTPGG to just come up. But right now it's going to be like that, that punching that's going on as soon as possible. But we do see the Hypernova is going to get ready as soon as possible. Is at 96, 97, and it will definitely go on for that 100%. And after that, we might see the same time use in a situation like this.
Yeah, Hornet Proteus found some good value there. Kraken Impact didn't really do anything for OTPGG, as that should be point 2 taken here by Super 6. And getting some more time on the board for point number 3 here.
Getting some more time on board, and look at the side of Super 6. They are just they're making it look like effortless. Trust me when I say this, they're making it look like effortless. I know how much time and dedication a lot of these players have shown, but he is just like, okay, this is for one particular thing. Okay, I need to do, I'll make sure I do it in the game. But there you go, it's going to be the side of Magic to take on the side of the Iron Fist. Nemo staying in the back and doing his majority of the job. Of course, now he has that opportunity to shut down everybody from the opponent team, where he will be assisted by one of my friends.
Another big now. Dark Child going to be invested here kind of early. Didn't really get any value with it. But you're able to push forward. You have Meteor M. You've got Revive as well. You can really seal the deal here with a good opening if you are Super 6. And there's the opening. Kuro is out of this fight, and you almost have lost a Human Torch as well. Meteor M coming through, looking for the shot right onto him.
Oh,
The block is there. Supernova now out. Pick does come through. Hulk is gone. And now you found another one as well. But the Revive going to be coming in at immediately after by 4-3 Linear to get things back into the favor of Super 6 as you're trying to hold on to this. But the picks are coming through as Yordle is going to find that pick on the Gexters, but it's still not going to matter since that Revive is still up and ready. The picks keep coming through now with the fate of both worlds out from Scoots. They might be able to win this out, but you still have to deal with Meteor M from OTPGG. But still, it's not doing quite just yet. Living Chi finds out Scooch might have to fire. It's the reset. It's Shushu finding a couple in the sky.
Yeah, the Iron Fist is still alive. The ultimate is definitely going to go away because it was just lasting in for only few seconds though. Now they have that opportunity to just, kind of just step back a little bit. And for now, it's going to be Lunaso to get taken out. It's going to be the Hulk to take out the side of Winter Soldier. And now, as they know, it's going to be a really big bloodbath. That ultimate completely gets wasted from the side of Magneto.
Not good at all as Dark Child was invested there. Gexers does go down. Picks are coming through. Yet again, Hulk Smash out from Drake Dev to try to seal the deal for Super 6 as they are only 4 meters away. The Horn of Proteus comes out, everything going the way of Super 6 now. And this should wrap up when they deal with the remaining members on the point, and it is going to come through. Kraken Impact not going to be able to get there. And that is going to be all 3 points taken by Super 6.
And Super Six are playing exceptionally well, man. I don't know how to say this, but they are just playing like one of the top teams that they are in Marvel Rivals circuit in the country circuit. They're just playing it like we know every ins and out of your strategy coming. You want to switch to Human Torch? Sure, we have Namor. You want to switch to Fantastic Four? Sure, we have tons and tons of heroes that we know how to play and we know how to counter in this finale matchup.
As now we load into what could be our final round of Marvel Rivals tonight. We've got OTPGG on their attack, looking a lot better than they did on Domination. So maybe we could see something here from them. Maybe take these 3 points, maybe force an overtime round, and then go from there.
Let's see. At this point of time, they know for a fact that we have already won up the first map. All we need to do is just like maintain this kind of like the form, kind of like that whole performance. I was I was a little bit expecting maybe a teleporter coming off from the side of Super Six, but anyways.
Now we shall see what happens here on the attack. I mean, Magneto Matt is going to get super low. Stunned up his Kaz already. They are going to get taken down, taken for a ride as Gexer's on the Wolverine. Doing good work as Konami going to find that opening kill for Super 6 to start their defense off strong.
Yeah, overall the defense is definitely looking good for the side of Super 6, and they have not let anybody for now to make up that entry, passing on to this Magneto for a long time. The Magneto, he will be screwed up though for the time being. He will be, just with the loose chain, he will be dragged upon. But right now, with it's going to be the side of Magneto play with that shield, his own shield, which is going to provide him a lot of value. But for now, he will be exiled. And there comes the Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's a big opening there, and now Shushu down as well. The picks keep coming through here from Super 6, and they've got OTPGG running for the hills now.
Okay, boy, oh boy. It's going to be the side of Nemo to shut down the side of Human Torch. Two of the big people have been completely shut off. It's IT versus one more team.
Yeah, as now we come through into this next fight here. I mean, you've got Kraken Impact if you're Lord, so you could open things up with it. We'll have to see if that's going to be something that can turn the tide of this Living Chi, and yet quite just there. They're still trying to hold on, try to stay alive, and they are going to be able to thanks to the that Magneto bubble. But maybe for not much longer. Invisible boundary count coming in.
Oh,
Fate of both worlds out, but Meteor M takes down Kuro, and that should be the opening that Super 6 needed yet again. There's a Fate of both worlds, though, coming in from Kane Crab to try to stabilize here as Kraken Impact comes through. Meteor M now out, and it is going to drop right onto Scoots. Is now the Kraken Impact doing good work and finding the value that OTPGG desperately needed, but they've got the Karmic Revival back into this, and they are finding these picks. They are going to get stunned up, though, so there's still an opportunity, still a chance for OTPGG, but there is still a chance for Super 6 as they come back with these revivals. They've got to try to stabilize, and they might have done it. The last stand, get a stop down Kuro for the moment, but the picks are coming in, and it looks like OTPGG lived to fight another day.
OTPGG has definitely lived up to fight another day, but not on a huge addition. They almost took more than 2 minutes to acquire this convoy for themselves, and of course they will have that very small advantage that they're having 3 minutes and 20 seconds to push up to the second point, which is great. But I don't know. I feel like in the overall, in terms of just the time remaining for them to push down to that second numbered objective, which is going to collectively give them 3 points. I feel like it's going to be really hard.
You'll have to see, right, as Magneto Matt making the swap over to Doctor Strange here for Super 6 at the moment, as Shushu having Supernova available. A lot of people are low right now on the side of Super 6, but the picks are going to come in from them. Supernova out. They are going to try to get some good value, try to get some picks into it, and they are pressuring people out, pressuring positioning away because of it. And now OTP are getting some good progress.
Yep. It's going to be the side of OTPGG making a huge progress, and Super 6 needs to get over that wake-up call that they gotta do something about it at this point of time. Magneto has that. Alberto, he will just quickly just captured up by the side of Wolverine.
Meteor M coming in from OTPGG, but is it going to be enough? Invisible boundary out as well, but Scoots drops their Fate of both worlds, try to stabilize the moment for Super 6. Now they come through. Another one comes in from Kane Crab to stabilize, keep the healing in their way. Now Living Chi out, but the picks are there. Hayavagamoto stunning up, taking them down. Living Chi is getting some good value, though, getting some people really low at the moment. And you are going to be able to take down Magneto Matt, but the revival coming in clutch from Super 6 there in the late stages for Super 6.
And yeah, it's just going to be 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, where the entire needs to OTPGG just need to reclaim themselves. They don't have any much more time left, and they also know for a fact that Super 6 have already secured that one map, so they gotta do something really quick about it to just redeem themselves and fight till the end, till the third map, especially for the side of OTPGG. Wolverine go empty handed for now. You Supernova, the Flying Torch is gonna do something. Actually do a lot of damage, though. He's actually targeting the crucial picks which have been generating a lot of that damage value. But there you go. Namor gets a double and is going to be Luna's though also to take a lot of that damage, and slowly and steadily it's going to be back again. Super 6 in control.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go here, and that's not looking good for OTPGG. Drake Dev does have to get out, though, needs to get healed up before he can get back into the thick of it. But you're walking into ultimates here from Super 6. If you're OTPGG, you are going to try to make a play into the back line here, and well, you're going to get there. Get some progress, but you are going to get chased down still by Super 6. The Hulk Smash comes in. Fate of both worlds coming through from Scoots to try to stabilize. You do lose 4-3 Looney, and another one comes through. And now you've got Kraken Impact, but there's still not enough. You still got people on the point. Fate of both worlds out from Kane Crab. Are they going to be able to stabilize? Yordle slurred up, frozen up, still alive though, thanks to the Fate of both worlds, but still hasn't found enough. Magneto Matt though very low at the moment. Are they going to get a last-second touch? I don't know if they are, as the picks keep coming through from OTPGG here. But it's all. Are they on the card? Okay, they are on the point here, and then this should be the second point captured when it's all said and done.
It's all said and done, and it will be the side of OTPGG to secure that one last objective which they needed to extend the duration. But it's still going to be hard, man. 1 minute 20 seconds left on the clock, and you have all the way to secure this the third point on somewhere around this location. It's going to be hard uh, for uh, uh, for the entire team of OTPGG. They don't have much of the time. I'm not saying that. They're lacking those resources or they're not capable to it. It's just like the time restriction that they have.
Only 60 seconds left.
I mean, Magmino Matt might get caught out here, though. They're super low at the moment. And that could be disastrous for this defense for Super 6, especially since you have Aya Vagamoto available to start off any engagement, really. You're going to come in with a nice pick on to your own, the Octa Strange of OTPGG. And now you can walk forward if you're Super 6 to look to get some last-second kills, look to start it off yet again, 4-3 linear, taking down Kune, and that should be a stabilization, 25 seconds to go.
25 seconds to go. Maybe things are still very much alive for the side of 40PG. There are some ultimates already charged up from the side of 40PG. Maybe that can change the course, but no, it's going to be that Wolverine picking up the center. There you go. The side of Doctor Strange goes down. Hulk and Strange both almost getting the entire team back in the lobby, but it's going to be OTPGG to come up with three, and slowly and steadily they're trying to suppress down, and there you go.
It's all
Oh!
but over here. Some good shots coming through, and the overtime bar ticks away. As Super 6 take the series 2-0, take the grand finals in a 2-0 fashion. Really good stuff from them.
Really good stuff. I mean, how they are just able to keep themselves calm and composed in these kind of situations, especially the one that happened in the very last minute of the last game. In the last 20 seconds, anytime will be like, hey, it's almost done. We are already won. Let's just play alongside with it. But nah, till the very last second, until the game is not done yet, they gave up their best. And look at that. I feel like, yeah, that composition didn't work. You don't need three duelists actually. Maybe in a scenario like this, if you have duelists like Namor and Wolverine in the opponent, and then you have a Hulk combined with Doctor Strange, and we all know that that one particular teammate is still that team up has gone though, I guess, in the season 2 patch, but still they have Luna, Slow, Adam Warlock. But if you're not able to just capitalize on killing off the strategist or the healers first, so it becomes a little bit of that problem for you overall.
Yeah, it was just an unfortunate and um, unfortunate end for OTPGG. Super 6 are able to take that series yet again. 2-0 grand finals championships for the CCA opening opening tournament for
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals. Hope to see them back and hope to see more from CCA in the future.
I mean, they played pretty well, not going to lie. How they, I mean, I'm still in that awe on how they got that victory up again Asgard. I mean, Asgard was one team which was looking very confident in the first map play compared to what we have seen in others. But overall, I'm also very much impressed from Super 6 because they won up this entire thing, and they know actually how, like, they know the basic stuff. They know the basic stuff of how to actually counter your opponent, how you can get these divers, counter out some tanks, how you can get these strategists, kind of like suppress some of the divers. So overall, it was a really, really great series. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the grand finale, I did definitely. I don't think that anybody expected that this will result in a 2-0 scoreline.
Yeah, just the way the cookie crumbles. I guess in the end, just turns out that it's going to be a 2-0. Super 6 being able to up to the task. It looked pretty good. I mean, looked a little scary though. In that second map, OTPGG were able to make it a little bit closer, more close than the previous map was. Right. So, kudos to them. They put up a decent fight. Again, Super Six were just a really good team though.
Yeah, overall, I would say for the side of Super Six, I also love the decision to be flexible. The decision that hey, if we need Spider-Man, we get Spider-Man, we do our job. Okay, if we need our per se, we don't need Adam. We did saw one of the guy was playing Adam, changing a lot of the heroes in the previous map, not this one, the first map. So overall, being flexible has also definitely helped up a lot. To for the side of Super Six to just win out the entire thing. But hey, kudos to OTPGG. Cannot just forget them like that. They have also played it pretty well overall till the end. They were just able to hold off till the overtime to just get those rounds going and going, get those payload get pushed up as soon as possible to the more extent. Even in the first map itself, the domination they tried to suppress down the side of Super Six to 88-98% of the overall domination point. So kudos to OTPGG for being a part of this and being our runner-ups.
Yeah, as it looks like just trying to figure something out here in a second, and then hopefully we're either getting an interview. I'm not sure what we're doing quite just yet, and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
I guess we might get an interview, folks. So yes, we are just waiting in for someone from our production team, get someone from the side of Super Six. So I guess we might have an interview coming up very shortly with possibly the captain or maybe someone from the side of Super Six. So don't go anywhere, guys, but yeah, make sure to press that follow button because this of course this entire broadcast is happening on the Twitch channel. So make sure to press that follow button because we got a lot of the tournaments coming up from other different games as well. But for now, folks, we'll be taking a short little break and don't go anywhere. We'll be coming up with our interview pretty short.
All right, everyone, we're back now here with an interview with some of the winning players from Super 6. We've got Magneto, Matt, and Gex here from the winning side. First off, congratulations on your grand finals victory here.
Thank you so much.
All right, I want to first bring in, because, Marvel Rivals is still kind of new, right? I
Yeah.
want to know, how'd you get into Marvel Rivals? Were you guys big comic book fans? Were you Overwatch players, Valorant, something like that, and you just decided to make that leap?
Yeah, I'm coming from Overwatch. I've played more or less since the beta, and then I took a huge break. And then when I saw the opportunity for another game that could rival that, not pun not intended, I wanted to try it immediately, and I fell in love with the game.
Okay. And what kept you like decided that, hey, even if you're an Overwatch fan, or maybe even if you like played Overwatch competitive for a longer period of time, do you still have plans that, okay, if you're playing so good at the game that you might want to go pro, or maybe try the competitive side of Marvel Rivals?
Me personally, I'm focused on my career. This is my main hobby. Besides that, I also play chess, but I love competing. I don't think I could go pro, but I think some people on our team have that dream. I'd let Gex speak for himself about that.
I was coming from the Overwatch esports scene before Rivals. Not like tier 1 or anything, but
Yeah.
I think that if I were to try, I could go tier 3 or above in Rivals, and I think it would be awesome to do that.
I mean, I've known a lot of people. A lot of the people that I used to cast in console Overwatch are now in that tier 1 scene. So, hey, I'm rooting for you. Other than that, I mean, Bullet, do you have anything more?
I feel like during the like for both of you during the overall season 2 pass, there were a lot of people like tanks getting nerfed and buffed left, right, and center. Especially you, Magneto, Matt, because you are playing a lot of Magneto. We just saw you just perfectly timing to just end the cloak and dagger zone, which is sometimes pretty basic, but sometimes looks pretty cool when you're doing it in a competitively fashioned way. So what are some of the best changes coming off with Marvel Rivals Season 2, and what are one of your, I would say, one of the changes that you absolutely hate about the Season 2 patch? Actually, both of you can answer that.
Yeah, I can start. I think that I see Magneto as sort of the Swiss Army knife of tanks. He kind of reminds me of old school Reinhardt in some ways, the role that he fills, and he can do pretty much anything in any comp he works well with. Of course, I would play off other tanks if I need to, but at least as far as the changes to him, I don't feel like they've really affected his ability to be effective. And the changes coming into Season 2 didn't disrupt that at all, which I was really happy for. But I really don't like the changes to Iron Fist, and I'm not really sure what happened with Human Torch, but I just seem to be getting a lot of trouble with those two characters, particularly this season.
What about you, Gex?
I think that Season 2 has been going pretty well, but they do need to rework a couple characters. I think Human Torch is a big subject, and they definitely overtuned Rocket, as he was already strong before.
Yeah, Rocket Raccoon with the entire amplifier with the health buff. Yeah, I completely agree with that one. So, guys, again, congratulations to you for winning our first ever Marvel Rivals tournament, represented by from the side of Karina Custom Arena. Thank you so much for being an amazing part of it, and I wish you nothing but the very best from our sides. And that was that. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
But
Thank you
before
so
go,
much.
Before you go, guys, make sure this is your time to shout out anyone you want, shout out your social, shout out whatever you feel.
Gex, you want to go for that?
There are a couple people on our team that do stream on Twitch, myself included. We also have Scoots, our amazing Luna player that also streams on Twitch. And I don't think we could have done it without Scoots joining in last second. And just shout out to our Adam player as well. That guy's crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
I don't have any shoutouts, but I really appreciate that you guys put on this. I know that there was some difficulties, and I really appreciate working through it, being patient, and we had a lot of fun. We hope to compete again.
I'm excited to see you guys compete again. Definitely. But that's going to be it for you guys. You can go celebrate with your team or get some sleep. I know it's Easter Sunday in this soon, so get your rest if you're celebrating that as well. But again, that was Magneto, Matt, and Gex from them. And now, other than that, well, I mean, there was really good stuff from them. Really interesting stuff indeed. But we have to end things off here today. Thank you all for watching. It's been me, Joker, him, Bullet, Console on the production end, Rhino with the observing. Then obviously huge shout out to Captain Jack doing the tournament organizing, overall stuff like that, and obviously Karina's Custom Arena for hosting this as well. Revolution Gaming with Captain Jack doing the production end of it all. Thank you all for watching. It's been me, Joker. Thank you all for what? Oh my goodness. Thank you all for watching, and wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.